Kempire is brought to you by Happy 2025. It's a new year and it's a new era for the Kempire podcast. Make sure you subscribe today and make sure that you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And shout out to those of you that have left glowing reviews and maybe not so glowing reviews. That's okay too. Thank you so much for the support and sharing our new podcast and everything that's to come. We don't just recap all the things that you've seen already on our YouTube channel. You also get special exclusive episodes and sometimes additional thoughts to the live recaps that we had on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe today and make sure you give us a 5-star review. Thank you in advance. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Oh, Lord. I don't know what is going on. All the technology is technologying. I don't know what is going on, but it's fine. It's fine. You guys can hear me loud and clear. I don't know about you. I have been looking forward to talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City since it aired last night. I couldn't even help but do a quick TikTok, even though TikTok's about to be gone on the 19th. Make sure you follow me somewhere else. But we're live on the Kempire YouTube channel. We're also live on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps on YouTube, along with some special episodes. And you never know, especially with this episode, I might just want to do some more or talk about it some more. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed to the Kempire podcast. Shout out to our podcast listeners and those of you that have been commenting on our Spotify. I love that Spotify now is sending me the comments that you guys are leaving on the podcast, because that way I can quickly see it from my phone and respond to what you guys are saying. All right. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Before we get into that, I know normally I talk about Real Housewives of New York. I did see that the Real Housewives of New York reunion looks have been revealed. I don't have them here. It's been a busy day. As you know, we were just premiering a video talking about the Wendy Williams interview that she did on The Breakfast Club. For those that have been wanting to hear my thoughts, I did do a video. It's about almost 50 minutes. So if you missed it, you can watch the replay on our YouTube channel exclusively. So make sure you head on over to YouTube and check out our breakdown of that interview. I did have a lot of thoughts and opinions. We will continue to pray for Wendy Williams and continue to keep a spotlight on her story. Don't forget to start using the hashtag #FreeWendyWilliams. If it worked for Britney Spears, it can definitely work for Wendy. And I think Wendy and her family are more than prepared to provide the support that Wendy will need, because I still believe that Wendy needs support. But I don't think that she needs to be under a guardianship by someone that's not her relative. All right? So if you missed it, be sure to check that out. I will talk about the Real Housewives of New York reunion looks in a separate short form video. Again, this is another reason why to make sure that you're following us everywhere, because I probably will drop those first on our TikTok. All right. Real Housewives of New York. I did watch the episode, and I actually watched it more than once, not because it was good, because I try to do my homework in preparation for today, but I'm trying to remember what happened. So their trip, I think their season finale is next week. And unlike this week's season finale for Salt Lake City, where we were like, oh my gosh, it's here, I could not wait for the season finale for Real Housewives of New York. And I don't say that lightly. I really don't. So there's a couple of things that I want to say about this episode. On Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and it's important for me to kind of bring both together, and I'm glad that we do the recaps on the same day, is because we do see these women play like these little games, housewife games, and the little shady, weird, pre-produced moments. Salt Lake City has done a good job with handling that. They do sometimes feel forced and pre-produced, but they're not annoying. Real Housewives of New York, they are annoying. Because every single episode since the season began, it's felt like we are forcing a scene. We're trying to make something happen. And I said before, after our last couple of weeks, I said, I feel like Brynn and Erin are actually the same person. They just navigate what they're doing, the same thing that they're doing, in different ways. And the constant always like, oh, let's, do this. It's trying to spark and pre-produce these different moments. And I put out a tweet yesterday and I said, I can't believe that production and the network watched this season and said, yep, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. Really? You really thought that? But we've said that recently too about, I think it was Real Housewives of Potomac from last season. They were saying, they were telling the streets that, oh, Potomac's going to be an amazing season last season, and it wasn't. Anyways, I just can't believe that you had that many eyes on a show and you let it fall to what it fell to. The only thing that I can say nice about Real Housewives of New York, beautiful gowns. I did see the reunion looks for their reunion. Andy did say on Radio Andy that, oh, we're having an amazing time with the Real Housewives. We had a great Salt Lake City reunion, RHONY. And I said, RHONY? I can't imagine this reunion being any good because the season was trash. So are we going to sit around rehashing the same stuff that we hated watching the entire season? We're going to spend a reunion doing that. Please make sure it's only a part 1. We do not need part 2 or part 3. And there's no one on this. If anything, the only redeeming person this season that I can like this season is Jessel Tank. Because I feel like Jessel is really just being herself in a lot of ways. I do think that Jessel upgraded her life and her looks this season, but I do believe that she is really being herself. At least she's not always sharing what she's thinking in the moment, but she is sharing it in the confessionals. So what Uba is saying at this beach that Raquel loved growing up, look, I think we all have a political, correct side, or we have a filter. So if someone has brought you to a place that they grew up, it's sacred to them, and here's the thing, we're watching an edited version. The edited version of Uba walking around saying, "Oh, dead pigeon, oh, don't go in the water, da 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 da." That's an edited version. Can you imagine the unedited version? That's even more annoying. Uba's reunion look was hot, though. Twerking on a fence. Twerking. She looks great. I will say this, though. Everyone in their reunion looks actually really, really good. I'll talk about that in another video. But Uba walking around that beach, I cringed watching that. Even if it's not your cup of tea, I cringed with her walking around saying, "Don't go in the water, don't go." I'm like, What? Oh, I forgot. I don't include Raquel because Raquel is a newbie. Even Rebecca. I don't include Raquel and Rebecca. It's not their fault they joined in this season when all these other women who were the ones that ruined last year's trip are doing it again this season. Now we're fighting with Aaron and Uba again. I can't even piece together the different fights that happen. There was a fight between Uba and Brynn at one particular point. Brynn doesn't love the fact that Uba insinuated that the only way she got her job was because she may have slept with someone in production or at the network. But I also don't believe you, Brynn, when you say, "Well, you're flying coach, I'm flying in private airplanes." Uba did get her, though. She was just like, with who? She said it in other ways, but Brynn, you're not flying private. Brynn, your tea has been on the streets, girl. Your eviction notice was on the streets. Please stop. Please stop trying to pretend like you're that woman and you're not. Okay? You're not. But she's been pretending this entire season. And I think that is just stunted growth. She's been through a lot. No one's going to take that away from her. But it explains the almost scary behavior that she's displayed this season. Every single episode from episode 1 of this season, Brynn has just been creating drama where there is no drama. All right? But, Sai, I told Sai, remember, go rewind the tape. I told Sai last season, Sai, why were you traveling with a full pack of condoms? That's weird. That's weird, but I'm thinking she tried to make it seem like she was just traveling with them. But okay, that was weird. Sai, I told you not to change. I told you not to listen to these folks on the internet, and you did. And this season, you were boring. You were boring. You were not yourself, and that was translated. I appreciated her telling Uba to stop. because she's Puerto Rican too. What Uba's saying is offensive. Anyways, Aaron, this is the one moment though in this episode that I appreciated from Uba, because these sophomoric 30-something, near 40-something, some of them are 50-something, let's play a game. First of all, the game of trying to recreate whatever is going on under Jenna Lyons' snatch. Again, sophomoric. And we get it. We have sophomoric moments with Housewives. It just feels different with this cast of women. Maybe because everything that they do is sophomoric and ridiculous and stupid. So we're gonna all, do all of this. Look, do all of this with these little pieces of hair in our vajayjays. Really? And then when that moment was ridiculous and like, okay, let's figure something else to do. Let's also do let's call one of our husbands and sext with them. Okay. So they call Abe. I did see that Aaron in the comment section said, I texted Abe beforehand. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Now, all of a sudden, that's the narrative that you want to paint. I appreciate Uba in that moment telling Abe, you're on speakerphone. Yes, he knew he was on speakerphone, but maybe he only thought that he was on speakerphone with you and Bryn. Mind you, last season, Aaron got so offended with Bryn flirting with Abe. Now, all of a sudden, you're showing Abe's penis to all the girls, and now you want to do all of this on this television show, and now with Bryn and all of this flirtation. Make it make sense. Again, I can appreciate Uba being like, Abe, you're on speakerphone and we're all here. And then Aaron's getting upset that Uba's saying it and making her feel bad, because this is the second thing you've done on this trip alone that was cringy, that involved your husband. How would you have liked it if your husband did that to you? Please put that in your head, people. Please paint that picture as if a man was on the phone with his boys, all listening, calling his wife, baby, da-da-da-da-da. What would we be saying? We were like, that is disgusting behavior. That's what we would be saying. Disgusting behavior. You ladies, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Raquel, Rebecca. Y'all came in on the wrong season. Jenna, you're no better either, because you sitting there. You should have been a one season and done, because I feel like you just ruined your own legacy. Okay, not really. I'm being dramatic. But on some level, you put a little stain on your legacy by being on this show with this ridiculousness. And Andy, we're not falling for it. We know what y'all did. You guys put New York after Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to boost those ratings. But the show was trash. And this is the last season that I will be watching. If these same women come back next season, I won't be reviewing or watching. You're lucky I decided to continue, just because I'm just like, okay, I started, let me finish. Maybe it will change. It did not. It was terrible. Look, there was no one I could be like, oh, this person I enjoyed. Jessel was the only person. They kept on coming up with all these different, well, remember the conversation that this one had with this one? I'm like, what are you guys arguing about? Are you trying to create arguments that aren't there? Are you trying to create arguments that aren't there? Clearly, they were producing. And Uba, I appreciate you checking Bryn. However, the whole Naomi wish, Giselle wish, girl. Look, you know I love me some Uba. However, Uba, where's my Uba photo? Hold on. Here we go. Girl, Naomi don't wish. Giselle don't wish. You're gorgeous on your own, but let's be real. You are no Naomi, you are no Giselle. And Bryn, you ain't flying private. All of you are nothing in comparison to the people that you think that you are. And I hate to say that, but I'm going to say it. And you all did this show because you all wanted to come up. The only person on here that has actually accomplished anything is Jenna and Rebecca. And I'm done of us pretending. All right, sorry. Mama Allie, can we mark the just start time for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review for the people that are going to watch the replay? And I'm sorry for those that are watching live. I had to get it out there. I'm just so tired of all of them. Jack says they're all clowns. Yeah. They're all clowns at this point. It's so sad. I did not expect that to be what this season was going to be. Fire them all. Look, fire them all. Naomi Wish. Really? Ooh, but please, girl. Girl. Bryn, flying private? Please, girl. Even in today's age, we talked about this a couple of years ago, flying private ain't anything anymore. There are tons of people that can fly private, all right? Everyday people can fly private. But I'm telling you right now, Bryn's not flying private. She probably has, but she's not flying private regularly. Khadijah says that they are all desperate and performative. Agreed. Candace, thank you so much for the super chat. Candace, I'll see you in Washington, D.C. Guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th. That's next week, literally a week away. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get your tickets today. More information will be available in the description. And if you're in New York City, get your tickets for that show. That show is coming up in Friday, February 21st at the Green Room 42. Get your tickets for that. There is a live streaming option for those that are international or in other parts of the United States or just, whatever. Get your tickets today, all right? Candace, thank you so much for the super chat. Candace says Salt Lake City was superb. 20 out of 10. Agreed. Thank you for being a member too, Candace. Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. Allie says, Bravo needs to pay you for recapping RHONY. Honestly, normally I would like, no, they should. They should. I just felt loyal to recapping it. But at this point, what are we arguing about? Every time I watch this week's episode, I'm like, okay, so now we're trying to build an argument between Jessel and Aaron, and because Aaron was there and Sai was upset about, and then U was complaining about the beach, and then they're pretending to have Jenna's vajayjay hair, and then it turns into a fight between Bryn and Uba. Girl, I get it. Real Housewives is not, the pinnacle of television. However, we can tell when people are playing in our face. Literally, we understand that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is not, oh my gosh, the most educational television. Even though this week, in this season, we're going to talk. Mama Ali, not yet. Not yet. This not yet. But Real Housewives of New York, I'm over it. If you had to rate this season of Real Housewives of New York, how would you rate it? I'm going to give it a 0. I know. Kempire, you're being harsh. Come on, it wasn't a 0. No, it was a 0. I know some of you when we talk about the ratings for these shows, you'll give it a negative. And I know you're being funny. But no, I'm not kidding. This was the worst season, in my opinion, worst season of Housewives ever. Ever. And I don't say that. I give people a lot of grace. This was the worst season. I've been grading all of these other shows on a curve because of RHONY. Because of RHONY. I give this season a 0. Fire them all. I don't want to see any of them again. Of all the franchises, the worst. The worst. And I'm sorry, Raquel and Rebecca, that you even came in on the season. Please understand my vitriol, my anger towards the season is not towards you ladies. It's not. It's towards these other women. Over it and over them. Now that I got that off my chest, Mama Allie, this is where we'll start our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap. Has everyone joined us? Because we're about to get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, all right? Where are we? We're at the 41 mark. Okay. Lux says, dang. Yes, grading on a curve, Angel Baby. Grading on a curve. All right. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Every time I see Tracy's profile picture, I'm like, is this Captain Sandy? Because it seems like you're on a boat somewhere. I know it's not a boat though, but you just the blonde hair and the sunglasses. I'm like, wait, Captain Sandy? Okay, Allie, thank you so much for another super chat. Allie says, a negative 1,000, I would rather watch Ramona. Honestly. Like old school Real Housewives of New York, I can still watch that even with Ramona. Ugh. Like early years, though, not like the last season. Drea, thank you so much for the super chat. Drea says, Kempire, I got my meet and greet tickets for New York City show February 21st. Get excited. You'll be meeting this Virgo live and in living color. That sounds like a threat, Drea. Drea, that sounds like a threat. OMG. Wow. Why are the Virgos threatening me? No, the Virgos did confront me at the last New York City show. All right. MHS says, finally, let's get to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay, Mama Allie, I promise. This time, this is the point where we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City season 5, I have to own, because I told you after season 4, the fact that they were saying that Monica Who, I don't even say the rest of her name anymore. No, Monica Who wasn't coming back. I said, because remember, the season before, season 3, was so bad. And we had the OGs, and I said, it's not going to work. So I was very concerned about season 5. And I did see that they had come out and they did interviews. Oh, no, season 5 is amazing, Meredith. Okay? And she wasn't wrong. I have to say I was wrong, but I also told you I'm open to it, but I was concerned. Okay, I was concerned that this season wasn't going to be good. But Mary Cosby is the MVP. Okay, no. Mary Cosby, oh no, I want to give her MVP, but I also want to give, okay, it's a tie. Mary Cosby and Angie are MVPs this season. Okay, no, I have to give Bronwyn too. I didn't love Bronwyn in these last couple of episodes, but overall, as a season, I'm going to say that Bronwyn brought it too. She was a great newbie. Brittany, although I see her thirst on social media, I think she was great. I still think that she deserved a full-time snowflake. I don't know what the decision behind that was. Maybe because she couldn't show her children. I don't know why that is a thing. But, yeah. It was a good season. And even the OGs, even Heather Gay, who did not share any personal story this season, she did. I always tell you, she helps me understand a little bit about Mormon culture and Salt Lake City culture. She's done it multiple times throughout the season. And I even love the fact that at the end, she was sort of like the narrator. She was a narrator at the beginning of the season, and she tied it all in at the end. And one thing that I usually normally hate recently about Housewives shows are some of the same games that they're playing over and over again. Oh, whoever came up with, it's not Heather. It was a producer, I'm sure. And if it was Heather, kudos to Heather. Whoever came up with this burn book game, first of all, you're savage. Second of all, fantastic. Because it was, oh, let's play Truth or Dare, or let's play this game, or let's play another game of pickleball. I love the fact that this was something that came out of nowhere, and I was like, whoa. And they really went, well, some of them went there. For those that didn't know, there is an extended hour-long version, uncensored version on Peacock. They're not paying me. Bravo, send me a discount code or something. Or at least pay for mine. Okay? Because I have the, whatchamacallit, the no ads one. I don't even know how much that is at this point. I know it's going up, or it went up. All right. Teresa says Heather ate that wrap up. She did. I mean, it wasn't, receipts, screenshot. It wasn't that, but I love the way she narrated at the beginning of the season and then how we tied it all together at the end. That burn book game was everything to me. Okay. 10s across the board for the season. They did not have one episode that you should skip. If you haven't gotten to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, watch season 1, season 2, season 4, and season 5. You can skip season 3. That's the season where Jen Shaw goes to jail, but they didn't bring it. If you have some time, you can watch that season, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm telling you, you could skip that season and you would not miss anything. You wouldn't. But I hate the fact that it's the same production that produces Real Housewives of New York because it's just so different. The two shows are so different, but I think it's the casting. I don't know who handled the casting for Salt Lake City versus New York City, but the casting really makes it. But the editing for Salt Lake City is amazing. It's always been amazing, though. And that's one thing that I've always said about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is that there's just something that they do with the backdrop of Mormonism and Salt Lake City and this cast. It just comes together. It's superb. Superb. Anyways, so the season finale. How'd you guys feel about the season finale? I know we were so heartbroken that it was the season finale. Remember, I think it was like season 2, if you've been a fan of the show, where they had like 30 episodes. It wasn't literally 30 episodes, but it was such a long season, but it was such a good season. Just saying, I'm just warning the people that are going to do a quick watch. All right. Oh, Catherine says, hey, Catherine. Catherine says, we don't need RHONY nor Potomac. Salt Lake City is it. Yeah, people are saying that Potomac started off interesting and now it's taking a real deep dive. And they said that we have like 4 or 5 more episodes of Potomac. And we're going to get 3-part. We did get to see the trailer for Salt Lake City this week for the reunion. It's a 3-parter. Look, it's perfect. You know, normally when we hear a 3-part reunion, we're like, do we really need 3 parts? Nope. We need 3 parts to unpack Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 5. We need all 3 parts. All right. So I did watch, I've been busy today. I gave you your Wendy Williams update and the Breakfast Club interview that she did. Yes, Ariane, I think Season 2 is like 25 episodes. I told you. But it was so good, that season. We've been watching since the beginning of Salt Lake City. Jacqueline says the season 4 was the black eye. No, season 4 was when we found out the real story behind the black eye. Season 3 was the black eye, right? If I recall, yeah, because that was the season that Jen Shaw went to jail. Mm-hmm. Jack says 4 would have been amazing. Yeah, they just didn't bring it. They didn't bring it because they didn't hold Jen Shaw accountable. And here's the thing, too. Let me say this about Jen Shaw. I put Jen Shaw on pause because she's in jail for stealing from elderly people. Okay? I know people have to do their job and they have to report on Jen Shaw. It was recently revealed that her sentence has been reduced again, and now it's till like next year, end of next year. Jen Shaw is put on pause in regards, like her incarceration means for me, we're not talking about her. But I also don't want to see Jen Shaw return to Salt Lake City. I know that some of them are still in contact with her. However, I especially with the call that I had the other day for those that were here during our Married to Medicine recap, and I told you how somebody tried to scam me, and I was on to them. And I realized that this woman was doing this to people and stole millions of dollars. I'm good on her. I don't need to see Coordinator Shaw. I don't care. Especially when we have such a good cast. This cast, this season, last season, showed us that we did not need Jen Shaw and her antics and her, no, we're good. We're good. Anyways. Plus, she owes how millions of dollars? Good. Look, we're good. I'm sure somebody will interview her. Okay. All right. Dre says Monica. Monica was great. I'm never going to backtrack on that. I know some people did not like Monica, and you're like, Monica who? Like I just said. But I'm good on Monica, but I'm never going to take away from what Monica brought last season. I liked Monica. I liked the fact that she owned that she wasn't rich. I liked the fact that she owned that she was insecure around these women. I was not prepared for the reality Von Tease of it all. But I understand now why they didn't want her on the show, because when you look back at some of Reality Von Teese's antics on social media, it did give disturbing. But it was still good TV. Look, it was still good TV. All right. So let me get back. Let me get back to my notes and start from the beginning. This week's episode, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. All right. Where do we begin with this episode? So Meredith, do I have that picture here? I thought I had the picture here, and I don't think I do. It might be on my phone. Because Meredith, and this is where it was hard to decipher what was in the Bravo episode versus the Peacock episode, because the Peacock episode is an hour long, unextended, and also, mind you, it's an hour long without commercials. So if you have the commercial one, it's a little bit longer. Okay? I have it here. Let me just send it to my computer, y'all. Let me send it to my computer because even in this conversation, for those that have Peacock, definitely watch the Peacock version of Salt Lake City's finale because it flows better. The episode flows better. There's portions that were left out of the Bravo episode that are included in this episode. And even the conversation with Meredith and Heather at the beginning of this, there's a little bit more that was said. Because I remember watching the episode, I was like, Meredith, you didn't apologize. But in the extended version, you see where she talked about an apology. She still didn't apologize. Let me just bring this over. Hold on, y'all. Meredith, I can't wait. First of all, that Louis Vuitton eye mask. Okay. So she scratched her cornea. I don't know if I believe that. There's something about Meredith. I just don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. And the more she gets reactive and like just intense about things, it makes me kind of look at her and like, madam, now I'm starting to think there's a little something more nefarious going on with you. But I will give Meredith this. The antics, the theatrics, the histrionics, these little random moments like this in the morning, the day after, like this is what makes her iconic in a way. I'm not going to take that away from Meredith. She has so many little moments, and I know I've said, Meredith with no storyline. And she does a lot of theatrics, okay? Even at the end of this episode. Why are you leaving the table? Because Lisa left the table? You want to have a moment? There is a lot of performative behavior from Meredith, but some of that stuff is funny. Like, we don't expect to wake up and have Meredith Mark. She's been doing this since season 1, like these different random moments. Like before, she had the bejeweled mask over her face. Like she's like, I'm disengaged. Like there's a lot of iconic moments. Actually, a lot more iconic moments than some of the people that you call your faves on Salt Lake City. A lot more iconic moments. But this moment with Meredith and this, I kind of want the mask. I like Louis Vuitton. Or Louis Vuitton, as Wendy Williams would call him. I was like, okay, Meredith, this is a mess, okay? Drea says that Meredith is a true housewife, all the theatrics. I love it. But her theatrics are very unique. I will give her that. Like, her theatrics on Salt Lake City are very unique. And I don't know if she just comes up with this herself. But again, I did not expect to walk into the scene. Heather walks into the scene because you remember last week's episode ended with Meredith yelling at Heather. So Heather, I feel like there is an alliance between Heather, Lisa, and Meredith. And so Heather's just like, you've never yelled at me like this before. And she's like, sometimes I feel like if I don't yell, I won't be heard. Like she had a very weird energy in the morning. I think she was drunk, though. Remember, she was slurring her words, allegedly. She was slurring her words. Well, that's not alleged. That's what I heard. Okay, I don't know why she was slurring her words. There's a variety of reasons besides drinking and pills that might make someone slur their words. Right? I don't know. Could be a speech impediment. And that's okay. She slurred her words. And Meredith was like, yeah, she's like, sometimes I don't feel heard unless I scream. And she said that with a serious face. She said it with a serious face. Okay. And then they talk about an apology, and Meredith says that this is why I led with an apology and an explanation of my behavior. Like it's actually kind of scary. Anyone else a little scared of Meredith? Especially in this moment, in this first scene. She said, that's why I led with an apology and an explanation of my behavior. And you see that Heather's is like, well, I accept your apology. I accept it. I don't think she wants to fight with Meredith. Have we ever seen Meredith and Heather fight? I don't think so. But they definitely have been united this season. So I think the only reason why they fought during last week's episode was because I think, allegedly, that Meredith was inebriated. Doja says she gives serial killer. I'm scared. I'm scared. Distinguished guest says, you know Seth wins no fights. Have you met Seth? He could never win a fight against her. Never. I've changed my mind about Meredith Marks. I know. I'm like, Kempire, this is why I get to twerk on a fence. Shut up. She's won me over. But maybe next season, Meredith, not to, encourage this, but maybe next season is your season to be like, I'm leaving Seth. I just don't think that that's real. I hate that we try to make it a thing every season. I don't need to see Seth anymore. Next season, instead of Whitney making her storyline a divorce from Justin, make it your storyline, because that would be believable. Honestly, I'd much rather see Meredith dating. I want to see her dating. Come on. Next season, please. And thank you. Okay. Lisa is greeted by a bunch of Lisas. Look, for those that watch the Bravo version of this, the Peacock version, you see when the ladies gather in the lobby. So you don't just see Lisa come down and meet them. So you get to see them as they arrive in the lobby. So they all dress up as Lisa, and I have to give Heather credit because she's right. Lisa doesn't like any sort of themed party, as we learned last season. So this is one theme party that someone like her would love. A bunch of people dressed up like her, celebrating her. So who do you think did it best? Who do you think had the best Lisa? I'm probably going to give that to Bronwyn and Whitney. I think aesthetically, they kind of gave Lisa a little bit more. Sidebar, did you guys see Lisa Barlow on Watch What Happens Live? The skin was looking good. I know that we've seen look, can we talk skin? Let's talk skin. And this is not in any way being derogatory towards Lisa, okay? Whatever she's done, whatever refresh she's done, I don't know if that is a facelift. Her skin looked great. I don't know if that is a filter on Watch What Happens Live, but the skin was looking good. She looked good. All right. A lot of people are saying Whitney. Oh, yeah. Angie looks like a hot mess version of Lisa. She did. Didn't she look like a mess with those sunglasses? I was like, what is going on, Angie, right now? All right. Lisa does make a shady remark, though, in her confessional about Whitney's outfit, because she said that she's wearing 3-year-old Tom Ford pants. Really, Lisa? So they go to the restaurant, and this is Lisa Barlow's tribute lunch, okay? So the women are sitting there pretending. Mind you, when they greeted Lisa, they were all pretending. They're like, I love that. Taking my millionth selfie. Okay. Mind you, Lisa finds this to be interesting. If my friends did a tribute party to me and they were showing how shallow I was, I think I would have hurt feelings. But I get it. I told you, I think authentically, and that I know it sounds hypocritical to say, or, complete opposite. I think Lisa Barlow is authentically fake. Or not even fake. Authentically surface. Okay? Wait a second. Drea says, let's talk skin. I worked for a beauty company for 22 years. Sephora. I know skin. So, Drea, what did you think about her skin on Watch What Happens Live? She looked great. She looked good. All right. So they go to this restaurant. She's like, I got a reservation for 8 Lisas. Okay. Archie says Lisa eats like a toddler. She does. She does. Come on. Like, there's but this is Lisa Barlow. I understand why they hired her for this show. They're like, there is no one like you anywhere. But I also think that people give Lisa a lot more credit, including this cast, by making everything about Lisa Barlow. Morsando says, I felt bad for the waiter. Yeah, because the waiter, first of all, the waiter seemed a little stuck up already coming to the table. He seemed very serious, not stuck up. Maybe a little stuck up too. He seemed very serious. It's like, let me take your orders. I was like, are we in France? Like, what's going on now? I was like, he's like, let me take your orders. And like, I'd like to get this. And this person's like, I love that. So that's all you're hearing. Everyone's like, I love that. And he's just like, what did I walk in? And then they're like, I love that. I love that. A mess. So they decide to play a game and they're going to imitate Lisa. Again, for those that may have missed it, if you watch the Peacock version, this scene is a little bit longer. You get to see a lot more than what you saw on the Bravo version of this episode. So they all pretend to be Lisa. I don't think there was anyone worth mentioning besides Whitney, because Whitney decided to leave tags on her Tom Ford outfit as she walked away to go to the bathroom. And Lisa's like, your tags are on. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people do not like Whitney, but Whitney, this is why I say you don't need to have a storyline if you are an interesting person. And I'm not saying that she's necessarily interesting, but she's willing to create conflict. And she's done that a few times this season, a few times in this episode. I'm not a Whitney fan, but that scene, she could have just played along. She could have just been like, oh, Lisa Barlow, ha, ha, ha. However, she decided to leave the tags on because she wanted to take a jab at Lisa. And she was like, yeah. And she says it in her confessional. She's like, I did that intentionally. I wanted to remind her that she's fake. And I've heard from people that she likes to return things. In the after show, she says, I heard that she's friends with this really rich person in Salt Lake City and she borrows her clothes. Do you guys believe that? Although I don't believe everything that Whitney says, including the, podcaster delivering that information. Like, I still don't believe that Lisa, and I don't know what it is. I don't have any hard proof, and neither does Whitney. Neither does Whitney. I don't have any hard proof, but something in me doesn't believe that Lisa Barlow's behind the whole Instagram, the Prism stuff. Being on, from Alibaba. I don't know. Maybe there's someone on the cast that did it. I just don't believe it's Lisa. I don't know why I believe that. Till this day, I've told you from the beginning of the season, where how many episodes later, I still don't believe that it was Lisa. And I'm not a Lisa fan. But I'm like, I don't believe Lisa did that. Like, she's done a lot of other stuff. Unless you have hard proof, I still don't believe it. So Whitney decides to take another dig at Lisa, and it turns, these two really don't like each other. If you thought this was all theatrics, no. The way that they were cussing, did you see that man with his kid putting his hands over the kid's ears? You really don't believe that's covering the kid's ear, like he's not hearing. Again, the uncensored version on Peacock, you could hear the cuss words. You're not hearing beep, beep. No, it's the F word, it's this. Like, they hate each other. The way that they cuss each other out, it's a whole other level. Okay? Do you believe that Lisa returned her clothes? That's such always a housewife thing where they claim a housewife has done that. I think housewives have done that before, but in this day and age, the way that people talk, I just can't see a housewife doing that. I can't. And to be honest with you, if we're comparing pocketbooks, I think Lisa has the money to afford the stuff that she has. Whitney, not so much. I'm still wondering how Whitney bought that house when she was complaining about finances last season. Okay. I'm asking. All right. Yes, Rebecca. Oh, damn, Rebecca, I lost your comment. Rebecca says, when Lisa told her that she had a leaking gut to take a pride bite, that was iconic. Because I was not ready for that comment. I was not ready for that comment. When she said, you have a leaky gut, a leaky gut, take a probiotic. I was like, Lisa, what is going on? So they really, really don't like each other. But what I can appreciate, when Whitney could have easily just let this be Lisa's moment, she decided, no, I'm going to stir the pot during this lunch and come for Lisa again. She has her foot on Lisa's neck this entire season. And normally I probably would not enjoy something like this, but somehow it works. Okay? Allie says that Whitney's a true borrower. Melissa says maybe Whitney's finance problems last season was exaggerated or made up. Very possible, but it's not made up to us. So we're asking the questions this season. How did you have financial troubles and your husband just got a new job and you're able to buy a house? We know they make money off of this show, but this is a fairly new show. This is only season 5. And you may recall, if you've been watching our recaps for years, we talked about the money that the Housewives for Salt Lake City were receiving. I mean, they deserve bonuses. They deserve bonuses. You ladies better renegotiate your contract for season 6. You deserve top tier money for season 6. You ladies brought it. Every single person brought it this season. There's not one person on this season that I was like, did not bring it. Even Heather Gray. Gay. All right. Okay. Moving on. All right. So Lisa tells Whitney to prove that she leaked anything to the blogs. All right. She says she plans to sue Whitney because Whitney keeps saying that it always gets back to this blogger story. And she says, prove it. She says, I'm going to sue you and take your new house. All right. Damn. And then somehow Brittany makes it about herself because Brittany's like, Brittany, I don't understand why Brittany understands the assignment though. She's like, I'm going to make a moment. I'm going to make my moment. And maybe if you had done some of this, you would still be with us. I mean, she's still with us, but not on the show. So Brittany is like, I think that Lisa's a loyal person. I think she's great. And we're all like, what? Like, mind you, Brittany and Whitney's the one who came to check on Brittany after everyone attacked her for recording them. So Mary Cosby, who is the MVP, is just like, Brittany, why are you even saying anything? And I love the fact that she pointed out everyone's hypocrisy because she was just like, you're just lucky that these folks forgot everything once they got a little tipsy. She was saying what we've been saying. So Mary Cosby was like, she's just like, why are you saying anything? We haven't forgotten that you recorded us. And Brittany's just like, you guys all do it. You all record it. You do it the most, Mary. Mind you, she's talking about them recording like when you're on a trip or something, not recording the group. I still believe that Brittany did record the group. I did. I think Brittany's a little weird. I'm not a little weird. She's weird. But I still like her for the show. This is what the show is based off of. Weirdos from Salt Lake City. But it works. All right. So Brittany gets really upset because she tries to justify recording them. And they're all like, oh, here we go again. Brittany, you are wrong. Blah, blah, blah. So she gets really upset. Her and Meredith start getting into it. Because Meredith is just like, you make all these insinuations about an ED and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So they get, here's the thing. I worry for you, though, Meredith. The amount of how hot you get and the screaming, I'm like, I don't need her to have a heart attack right now. I need her to calm down just a tad. But her and Brittany get into it, and then Brittany feels like everyone's turning on her. Brittany's like, I have no friends here, and she walks away. So Lisa goes to check on her. Then Angie gets up and goes to check on her. Mary's just like, why is Angie going to check on her after she just talked about me and accused me of recording people? I saw some folks say that they don't see a justification for Mary being upset with Angie. I do. And maybe if you watch the Peacock version where Mary talks about it, when they go on the beach during the different excursions that they end up doing after this lunch, Mary, I don't remember if this was in the Bravo episode, but Mary talks more about why she's upset with Angie. And I don't blame Meredith, because I was also thinking to myself, why is Angie doesn't like Brittany? Remember, she's the one who called Brittany the high body count hair. So why is Angie running after her? Angie, that's where you kind of give thirsty sometimes. You do give thirst buckets sometimes. Because it didn't make sense to me. But then I had to think to myself, because I've been the one who has said, I do believe that Angie has a big heart. And I think that Angie actually is a good person. I stand on that. So I was like, okay, maybe, maybe she felt away and she felt bad for Brittany. But I'm not falling for Brittany. But I understood why Mary was looking at Angie like, really? She just talked about me. She don't like me. I don't like her. And you're supposed to be my friend, someone I'd let into my world that I don't let a lot of people in. You going over there to talk to her? I'm done with her. That's what she said. She said she was done with Angie. She said she was done with Angie. Jess says that Angie felt bad. I don't know. Sorry. Angie is too nice. I think maybe it might be a little bit of that. I'm not sure. G says, Angie's kind of like Cynthia Bailey. If anyone's crying, she's... maybe. I definitely think that Angie has a good heart. I do. And I feel as if Brittany did feel attacked. However, I think Brittany was trying to have a moment. I think she wanted to draw attention to herself because she quickly got over it when the group when a couple of the ladies came over to her. But I did feel for her on the Sprinter when they all were attacking her. I was like, this is too much. I think even I would probably be like, oh my gosh, you all hate me. Like, get me off of this bus. So I felt for her in that moment. In this moment, maybe it was a lot worse than they showed, even in the extended version, but it's okay. It's all right. So Mary's done with Angie, though. Okay. So the women do two separate activities. Some go horseback riding. Some go to learn how to do ceviche. Fine. All right. But Mary, in this moment, they get off the horses and they go walk, put their feet in the water. And Mary says, like, I'm done with Angie. She's just like, why is Angie running after Brittany? Brittany's accusing me. And they're all like, Meredith and Lisa are like, oh. Because I guess they didn't see Mary being upset about that. I don't think the group knew how close Angie and Mary had become. I don't think they had any idea. It was in this episode during this trip that they realized how close Angie and Mary had become. All right. So Mary tells them that, like, yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad with Angie. And she literally says, I'm done with her. And when Mary says that, I believe her. I didn't know if Mary was really going to open up back to Angie. I didn't expect during the dinner that would happen. And I'm glad. See, Angie, I'm glad you fought for that friendship. I thought that was a beautiful moment. Beautiful, beautiful moment. Before we get to the group dinner. I can't believe we're at the group dinner already. This group dinner was like long. OMG. Okay. Before we get to the group dinner, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like the video. Again, it's easy, it's free. And also, don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. Okay, subscribe today. And don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. There we go. And shout out to Quinzella for becoming a member. We appreciate your support. I might do something for the members soon, so stay tuned, members. Linda, thank you so much for the super chat. Linda says, I love Salt Lake City. Me too. Have you guys watched Sold on Salt Lake City? I still haven't watched it, but some of you did not make me excited to watch it. I did end up watching Selling the City on Netflix. I watched 2 episodes, and I said, yeah, this is not going good. It's not. I think the producers behind Selling the City and Selling the OC and Selling Sunset, they have a certain aesthetic, they have a certain focus and a direction for their reality shows. They had so much success with Selling Sunset. they're trying to regurgitate that in other cities. And remember, they also produced Selling Tampa, and that was canceled. And now these women of color feel like they have to go ratchet and love and hip hop in order to get a new show on Netflix called, what is it called? From Wags to Riches. They have two of the women from Selling Tampa. I was like, really? You went from being a boss selling real estate to doing what they like to paint black women and women of color on television? Okay. And then people like me, because when I saw the cast for Selling the City, I said, New York City? And I get it. There aren't a lot of people of color, black people in real estate. But in New York City, there are quite a few. And not one is on this cast. But I'm going to put that to the side. That was my first thought. I'm going to put it to the side. The focus in the first episode is on their own interpersonal drama and nothing to do with real estate. Nothing to do with the competition of real estate. It's all this like cattiness. I was like, that's not why I personally watch real estate shows. You know why season 2 was signed on really quickly for Owning Manhattan? Because it was about the actual real estate and the real estate business. Ryan Serhant, I can't wait for season 2. I watched that season of Owning Manhattan 3 times. That's how good it was. How did I get on this? Oh, we're talking about Sold on SLC. Honestly, the only reason why I'll watch that is because I want to see Utah's homegirl, because I've always talked about her because she was supposed to be on Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and it didn't happen. So I'm interested to see her. Joe, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Joe says, who thinks that Meredith walked off during Heather's game so that she didn't have to share the worst stuff she texted to one of her cast members? Well, that's not true. The Peacock version, you get to see everyone share their stuff. I can't remember if I wrote down what she shared, but Lisa shared something that wasn't great. So they did end up sharing. It just wasn't shared. I think because they weren't anything good. Like Lisa's sharing about Meredith, it wasn't anything as damning as the other women. So, I mean, that was my thought too when I watched it last night. I was like, why didn't they show everyone? And I see Meredith, jumping, to leave the room, and I was just like, but no, apparently they did. It just wasn't shown. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Bianca says the 1% who voted 1 to 3 for this episode must be RHONY cast in the chat. Don't be jelly, RHONY. Right, I didn't even look, Bianca, at the ratings, but let me take a look because I do want to see. I just assumed. I honestly only wanted to give you guys one option for the ratings for Salt Lake City, because if you thought that Salt Lake City season was a 1 to 3, you're just hating outside the club. Okay, hold on. The ratings. Boom. But let me mute that. Okay. Okay, guys, keep voting. We have over 1,000 votes, though. Over 1,000 votes. That 93% of you voted this episode, the season finale of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, 7 to 10. And I know what you really want to say, 10. You don't want to say 7. You don't want to say 8. I'm going to say 10. I'm going to speak for you. All right. Let me go back here. So, Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, they are jelly. They should be. They should be lucky that they are, they get the ratings, turnover from Beverly Hills, because if they were on their own, they would not get any sort of high ratings. Mr. Mellon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Mellon says, Heather needs to remove gay from her name because she's a disgrace to the word gay. Whitney did to Lisa what Lisa did to Rumors during season 2. Hot mic. Maybe. Look, maybe. Thank you for the super chat. Liberia Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. Liberia says, I am a new Whitney fan. She showed out this finale. See, okay, I'm not a fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a fan of Whitney. But I saw what she was doing, and it actually moved the episode. It didn't fall flat. It didn't fall flat, especially when you watch RHONY. It gives you a better perspective of when other people do it and they're successful at doing it. Like, Whitney could have easily just let Lisa have this moment and be a Lisa and pretend to be Lisa, and it would just been fine. But she was like, no, I'm gonna take a dig. I'm gonna take another dig and another one and another one. Thank you, Liberia. Tracy, thank you for the super chat. Or Captain Sandy, playing. Tracy says, it was Adam and Dana Wilkie beg the Alibaba. What? What do you mean? I know that they were involved in regards to talking about that rumor, but I'm not sure if I understand what you were trying to say there. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina said, oh wait, it's almost $20. I got to shimmy for the $20. Thank you, Rahina. Rahina says, hi, Kempire, listening through the bushes. Sidebar, hashtag free Wendy Williams. Why are you listening to the bushes? Are you at work? Boss, she's listening to me. No, I get it. I remember being at work and listening to things I shouldn't be listening to while I was at work. But I was see, here's the thing, and I'm sure a lot of you that listen to me at work, you're multitasking. Just saying. I used to have like one headphone in my ear while I was listening to something, and I'll be plugging away and doing what I got to do and sending emails, but still having a little entertainment in my ear. So I'm grateful I can be your entertainment in your ear. Oh, Carlissa, why are you so mean? Carlissa says, Kempire, I'm glad you didn't chip your tooth on those hard cookies from MG. Let me tell you something. Those cookies actually were good. And then I saw a few people that ended up getting the sprinkle cookies from Melissa as well. We did a whole unboxing that said, oh, no, I had them too. They were good. They were good. They were good. It just took me a while to get mine, but I'm going to get me some more. They were good. Delicious. Let me say thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for the super chat. Tracy says, I feel Whitney is trying her hardest to be relevant. Yeah, she definitely is. But I don't know if I want to say that she's trying. No, she is. I think her and Heather are. And when you look at the burn book game and when they talk about each other, it's so funny to me that Mary Cosby called out Heather for letting fame go to her head. And then Heather was saying that about Whitney. And I was like, that is, to me, they just told on themselves. They confirmed what I said from the beginning, that the real beef between them was the fact that this fame went to their heads, and that's what separated them. Somehow, I feel like they're finding their way back to each other, which I'm actually kind of glad, because I liked seeing them as friends, but I never felt like they truly recovered from their falling out. But maybe after the season. Because I told you at the top of the season, Heather was throwing her under the bus at the Bezos party. Sidebar, did you guys see the reunion trailer for Housewives of Salt Lake City? And Andy Cohen asked for some safe words. So Lisa's safe word is Bezos. And Angie's word is Opa. And when he does it, she goes, oh. You got to love Angie. You just got to love Angie. I was like, Angie, you're so quirky and funny. But so is Mary Cosby, so it starts to make more sense. Look, Lucky Pie, you got it, Lucky Pie. Lucky Pie says, Kempire, not blowing in my headphones while I'm at work. Hope you in the chat are doing good today. See, someone got it. Okay. All right. All right, let me move on. Let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. The discount code still works if you're looking for your coldest water bottle. I don't have the link in there, but live chat mods, if we can post a link to coldest. Kempire 10 is the discount code. Let me take a sip. I gotta. Oh wait, let me drop the call and link for our live chat. Not the live chat first. Our members first. Let me do that first before we get into this group dinner. If you're just joining us, guys, this is our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, our final recap of the finale, and then we'll have 3 more recaps to recap the reunion. I'm looking forward to the reunion. I'm actually glad that we had something to look forward to this season when it comes to 5 different housewives on at the same time. I'm glad that RHONY's coming to an end. I'm not glad about Salt Lake City, but I'm glad that now it will kind of free up my schedule in regards to covering this stuff. All right, let me drop the call link for all members. Members, head on over to the community tab. And live chat, I will drop the call link for you guys. Let me see where we're at with the likes. Don't be stingy with the likes. We got 1,300 of you here. Let's get to 500 likes. I'll be generous today because I'm in a good mood because of this episode. Let's get to 500 likes, and I will drop the call link for you guys in the live chat. All right? All right. Thank you, Foxy. Thank you to all our mods. We appreciate them. Okay, so let's talk about this group dinner. So Angie and Meredith, as you know, they've had a tough season. They've had a couple of tough seasons, but they said that they're working on their friendship. They're working on it. So they're in a better place. They talk a little bit about that. Okay. Angie then, we have this moment with Angie and Mary Cosby. Angie offers to Mary some food, and Mary doesn't respond. Have you guys ever had avocado pizza? It actually looked kind of good. I like an avocado, or as Jamaicans call a pear. And I was like, that actually kind of looks good. Anyways, me looking at the food, and I love a good pizza. So Angie says, you've been very quiet with me. And Mary then shares why she's been quiet. she's just like, I really appreciated Mary in this moment because Mary doesn't share a lot. Okay? And she shares in this moment that she didn't like that Angie was running after Brittany. Okay? And she says she's done. She's done with her. And Angie seems so hurt by that. Angie fought for her friendship. That's how you knew that this friendship was real. For anyone that wants to pretend like this friendship wasn't real, this was a moment that was the realest that we've seen in such a long time. I think it should get nominated for an NAACP award. Honestly, Salt Lake City, they got one black cast member. NAACP. It should have went to them, not to Potomac. Come on. We got at least one black cast member. They deserve the NAACP Image Award. Please and thank you. So Angie gets really emotional with the fact that Mary is upset with her. And Mary's just like, she's been through a lot when it comes to, remember Mary's mother? And she said her mother was her best friend. Her father left when she was fairly young because he didn't like Mary. He said, she's too outspoken. Mary's mother, she said, used to be her best friend and abandoned her as well. So she says she doesn't deal well with abandonment. So that's what she felt, and that's what triggered her with Angie. And Angie says to her, did I write it down exactly what Angie says? She's like, oh, wait, I want to make sure I mentioned some of the things that Angie said. Oh, she says that she sees Mary different than everyone else. And I was like, whoa. She says that Mary has opened up to her in a way that she hasn't opened up to anyone else. I was just like, whoa. The way that Angie was so vulnerable in that moment, saying that she loves Mary, that Mary said that God brought them together. And Mary was just like, thank you, Nellie. Angie said to Mary, you changed my life. I said, this is deep. This was such a deep, beautiful moment. I loved it. I did not expect it. I saw the little preview of them having a little bit of an argument. I said, what happened? What happened here? But seeing this play out the way that it did, and Angie being so vulnerable about how much Mary means to her, and Mary being vulnerable about why she has abandonment issues. Mary, at the end of the conversation, was just like, when we hang up, sometimes I want to say I love you, but I don't. She's like, I don't want to be the first. That's real, though. At least she's honest about that. There's so many of you, in relationships now that don't want to say I love you because you don't want to be the first. But Angie in that moment says, I love you. That was one of the best, for me, that will go down as the best moment on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know they've had a lot of really great moments. The whole exposing of Monica Who. For me, it was the realest that we've seen on reality television. It was beautiful. This is what I told you I saw in Angie a few weeks ago. I was like, no, Angie is a good person. And Mary Cosby, no matter how we've made jokes, and this is probably why I got blocked on Twitter. Mary, no promises, because I know you're not reliable. Because I don't think Mary's a reliable friend. I feel like she can switch up on you real quick. So I can switch up on you real quick too, Mary. So next season, you just never know. But this bond between these two women, and I think Mary more than ever needed this. Mary talks about how, sometimes the people that become your family are not of blood. And she really has opened up to Angie. And Angie talks about her own abandonment. When Mary's talking about being abandoned by her parents and not having their support, and Angie's like, well, you know, I lost my mom when I was a little girl too. I have abandonment issues too. That moment for me, I teared up watching it a second time. Like I didn't know what was coming up. I was like, this is beautiful. And I love that for them, because at the end of the day, when this show is said and done, if they're not on the show anymore, they might still have this friendship. And this show, this reality TV show, this form of entertainment actually sparked something good. And I say that about Garcelle and Sutton's relationship on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think even after that show, if either one of them leave the show, they are going to be together. All right? And they'll be there for each other. Exactly. Doreen says, it's a far cry from who's Angie? Or her yelling at Angie, like, don't tell me to come over there. I mean, luckily, Angie's a patient, kind person, because the energy that Mary can give could be off-putting. Queen D says, I fell in love with Mary. Thank you for being a member, Queen D. I fell in love with Mary this season. Her friendship with Angie warmed my heart. I'm not that close with my family either, and I have 2 girlfriends that are my family. I would fight just like Angie. Yeah, Angie fought for that friendship. I think some of the other women probably would have twisted and turned and made an argument out of that conversation, like Meredith did. Like Meredith, that situation. No, Angie says, I'm fighting for my friend. I'm fighting for my friend. I love my friend. My friend changed me. You said God brought us together. Broke my heart. It broke my heart, but then it built me up at the same time. That conversation. I loved it. Like, we can end the recap off of that. No, we can't. And Heather says it seems like Heather and Mary, despite some of the things that Mary has said about Heather, like she said some stuff about Heather. I have to say this season, it feels like they're in a good place. Like when she first arrived on the trip and she sees Heather, they hug and Heather's excited to see Mary, even after calling her, I'm not going to even repeat it. Okay. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. Mary Duda says, Mary is greater than Bronwyn. Bronwyn's greater than Angie. Angie's greater than Brittany. Brittany's greater than the flop OGs. I don't know if I agree 100% with that. I don't know if I 100% agree, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. Okay. I love Mary and Angie. I wish them the best. If it's on the show, off the show, I believe that this is a friendship that Mary needs. Okay, sidebar. Did you guys see? Did you guys see that Robert Jr. posted on social media about the women of Salt Lake City? Let me just read it to you. I'm not going to show it to you because I just don't have the time or the patience. He had posted on his Instagram story, by the way, all these sluts on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are not people to look up to. Besides my lovely mother, just because they are, quote, rich doesn't mean they're good people. Then the next Instagram story says, sorry for the rant. Okay. We wish Robert Jr. the best in his journey in sobriety. They filmed the reunion already, so that came out recently. So I'm sure they maybe will use that as a storyline next season. And if you saw the reunion trailer, you saw that everyone gets emotional when Mary Cosby starts talking. Even Andy Cohen has to wipe away a couple of tears when talking about Robert Jr. and his sobriety. Exactly. Irene says that Robert Jr. went hard at his mom's coworkers. We wish him well in his sobriety. Okay. We wish him well. All right. Let's talk about this. So we go from that, and Meredith decides to have her moment. Meredith, I can't believe we're talking about the Alibaba stuff. This is producers saying, bring this up at dinner, because this is the finale. So they want to kind of bring everything around. And It's so funny. We're watching this week Housewives of New York and their cash trip be lackluster. We're watching Salt Lake City and their cash trip, and we're just like, what is going on? Such a difference. Such a difference. And if we're basing our ratings on a curve, they definitely get more than a 10. They definitely are getting more than a 10. Okay. So Meredith decides to have a conversation with Whitney about the Alibaba and the Prism jewelry controversy that they talked about from the season. So she said, the podcaster that you spoke to contacted me. And says that Whitney reached out to him and wanted him to get proof. Whitney, the podcaster, never gave proof, allegedly, according to Meredith in her conversation with the podcaster, and says that Whitney twisted his words around. Oh, do you believe that? I feel like I don't trust anyone here. I don't believe that Lisa had anything to do with it. I don't believe Whitney, but I also don't believe the podcaster. I don't believe any of them. I feel like they're all cut from the same cloth. Anyone else? First of all, there wasn't any solid proof. I don't have any solid proof to say that it's not Lisa, but I also don't believe it is Lisa. To be honest with you. So, according to the podcaster is saying that Whitney twisted his words. Okay. But this is when Whitney says, you feed stuff to all of these bloggers. You were feeding stuff to reality Vontees. And Heather's like, how do you know that? Look, how do you know that? So, she says that she spoke to Monica. So, of course, Heather in her dramatics. Heather gets into her dramatics, and Heather's just like, oh my gosh. Oh, why would you speak to her? You know what she did to this group. We've been so affected. You know, Heather. It's like extra dramatics. Like, come on. Monica didn't do anything that bad to you guys when we think about all the stuff that's been done with this cast, okay? Okay. Anyways, So she says she got the information from Monica, and everyone has a reaction to that. Whatever. But Whitney says she reached out to Monica out of desperation, and Monica says that she has proof that Lisa did feed information to the blogs. I wouldn't be surprised. I think they all do it, though. I don't think any one of them are innocent. Just saying. So, N-Dub, didn't you give me this crystal? Look, N-Dub, I got this crystal in my pocket. See? You don't think I'm going to use the things you guys gave me? Look, I got a little crystal. I got it in my pocket. Shout out to those of you that give me crystals when I see you. All right. Anyways, so Whitney says, I did it out of desperation. And Monica said that she had proof. Mary, though, has Whitney's back. Mary says that you guys aren't the friendliest. And she's like, who are you talking about? She's like, you, and you. This is what I agree with Mary. She's like, you guys aren't the friendliest, and sometimes it forces people to do these things. Okay? Heather says that Meredith, this was what the interesting part. Okay, I don't know if they play this in the Bravo version, but in the Peacock version, you got to pay attention to the Peacock version of the Salt Lake City episode because it's extended and it's uncensored. I don't know if I didn't go back to check because I didn't have time to see if they included this. But Heather goes in on the blogger. She's like, the fact that this blogger has your information and can contact you like this, you need to get a whole new number. Whitney then goes in on the blogger. Whitney says, what did she says? Oh, she said he played both of us. Okay, Whitney, you're doing the most. You're doing the most. He played both of us. But I thought it was interesting how this became not necessarily about Meredith and Whitney and the Alibaba and the Lisa stuff. It went more into these bloggers want to be close to us and da 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 da. these bloggers want to be close to us. And I was like, damn, Heather. She's like, you need to change your number. She said, wait, did she say? No, I wrote it down. What did Heather say? Oh, she said it's embarrassing. The fact that a blogger might have access to her. First of all, these housewives are the ones reaching out to bloggers. Let's be clear. I have housewives in my DMs too. All right. And like, oh, can I see that? Oh, I'm like, hey, how you doing? That's it. I'm not engaging. First of all, y'all know I'm not that invested in reality television like that. I don't want to be your friend. I don't ever want to be your friend because I know this game is not new to me. All right. And you're not going to manipulate me. Okay. But she's like, it's embarrassing. You know what's embarrassing, Heather? Is y'all in the DMs of bloggers. Okay. That's what's embarrassing. Don't sit here and act as if Meredith, she doesn't talk to bloggers. I believe she talks to bloggers too. I'm not saying the bloggers don't reach out to them because I know bloggers do that too. They do. Look, I know they do because people tell me things. But I thought that part was interesting. Again, I don't know if that's in the Bravo version. So what I might be saying to you guys, you're like, I didn't see that in the episode. That might be just in the Peacock Uncensored version. But I thought that was interesting that they ended up trying to twist this and turn it on the blogger. I'm not saying that the blogger is innocent, but I also know the housewives are not innocent. Distinguished guest says Kempire dancing on the fence like they have dollars. No, this is why I always say twerking on fence, because I just feel like I can see the side of the housewives. I can see the side of the bloggers and the podcasters. However, Emily said, name them. What? Name what? I don't need to name them. No, I don't need to name anybody. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Some people would name them so they can get the clout. I don't need to. I don't need the clout. Okay. Rahina, thank you so much for another super chat. Rahina says, ha ha ha, I usually listen to you when I'm carting and cart prepping. When I'm charting and chart prepping at 7 a.m. Off today doing house stuff. Oh. Rahina was a part of our dating and, love talk video that we did. We're due for another one. Rahina, I loved how transparent she was. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Bianca says, I'm going to need Mary to stop making me cry. Angie, too. It was such a beautiful moment, though. I appreciated the vulnerability. This is what makes them great housewives. This is why a lot of us can do reality television, because we're going to be so like, no, not showing that, not giving up on that. No, these women will show up and be who they are. Even Lisa Barlow. I always tell you, I feel like she's authentically surface. There are people very much like her. I don't think there's any depth to her, which is fine. Lisa, that's not a diss. I will give Lisa credit. Lisa Barlow has never reached out to me. She's never been in my comments. She's never been in my DMs being like, oh, don't say nothing bad about me. And how many times have I played that Lisa Barlow rant? Okay. She's never reached out to me that I know of. It could be in that other spot, but she has never. For the most part, there are a handful of people that have. They're a handful. Rebecca, thank you so much for the super chat. Rebecca says, please don't let Whit fool you. She wasn't looking to resolve anything with Lisa. She wasn't. She just wanted Lisa to read that rumor out loud. She ain't slick. Laughing my A off. This episode was TV gold. We're not even done with this scene. If you remember the channel, we have quite a few people backstage that want to share their thoughts. I need to quickly go over the burn book scene in a second. Drea, thank you so much for the super chat. Drea says, Angie and Mary had me crying. I love their friendship. Kempire, I'm still crying. That was a beautiful scene. It really was. It was. I loved it. Bianca, thank you so much. Bianca, you sent so many super chats. I got a shimmy. Lord. Thanks, Bianca. All right. Bianca says, I know Lisa misses Jen because she made Lisa look less violent. Oh. Or Lisa picked up a thing or two from her because that attempted wig snatch was ratchet from Whitney at the Lisa tribute lunch. All right. All right, live chat. We're almost at 600 likes. Let's get to 600 likes and I'll drop the call. I know I said 500. Let's get to 600 likes and I'll drop the call and link for you guys as well. All right, we already have dropped the call link for our members. Let me just talk about this burn book moment, all right? They play this game, and again, Housewives games, especially in 2025, they fall flat for me because a lot of it's the same stuff. This burn book game, though, was brilliant, and especially if you come to play. So the game is read or show me the worst thing you've ever said about one of us and show it to that person. Okay, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to go there? So Mary Cosby volunteers to be first, and she gives her phone to Heather Gay. And basically, I'm just going to summarize what she says. That, look, Mary may not be the most, poetic or eloquent speaking person. She is when she's in church. But when she writes something down, she's very eloquent. And what she said about Heather Gay is what we've been said about Heather Gay, that Heather Gay has changed with all the success. Heather Gay has changed. And Mary says she's also become mean. And Heather, I believe Heather's reaction, Heather gets really emotional reading it. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. And I liked how to me, it was the perfect first one because it was a real statement from Mary Cosby. I don't know who Mary Cosby wrote that to, but it was a real moment. And I like how Heather received it, in my opinion. She tried to justify it, but I'm glad that she received it. Brittany, on the other hand, Brittany's new to the group, so there probably wouldn't be a lot that she said about this group, but I definitely think that Brittany has said worse. So apparently, Brittany said, I want to have tea with Bronwyn instead of Mary. It's probably a text that she wrote to the producer. And Mary's like, when were we ever supposed to have tea? And why would I want to have tea with you? She's like, I don't care. And everyone's like, that's the worst thing that you've written about one of us? And she's like, yeah. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that at all. All right, Bronwyn on Brittany. That was pretty lethal, but also on point. She basically says that Brittany is emotionally manipulative. I agree. We've seen it on this show. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know what she's done in the past. But Bronwyn was on point with her analysis of Brittany. But she's also said that I'm putting this out there, but I'd like to move forward with you. I was like, okay, grown. Again, a very mature engagement. Brittany be lying, Gigi says. All right. Angie shares a message with Bronwyn. And Bronwyn starts to read it. And first of all, a lot of them kind of scanned over it before they started to read it. I don't know why Lisa Barlow didn't, but maybe that's what makes Lisa Barlow a queen, is the fact that she did not. She was like, I'm going to read it as is. Because unless she just wasn't thinking. I kind of think the latter. Hamida says that Angie's text was jaw-dropped. Yeah, the way that she read Bronwyn down, basically she said Bronwyn married the Todd father for his money. She says that she married a man with one foot in the, where is it? Wait, she's marrying a guy with 1 foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. And that she sucked her way to the top. That was brutal. And mind you, I said that Angie's like, she seems like she has a genuine sweetheart, but apparently a lethal tongue. Not as lethal as Bronwyn's, apparently. I had to. It was right there. I had to go for it, right? But when she read through it, first of all, the fact that Bronwyn was able to read it, first of all, she's a Virgo. And Virgos have lethal tongues, too. Okay? And share probably more than they should share. So do I think that she was hurt? Yes. But I was like, whoa. And at least she played the game. We see some of these folks did not play the game. Lisa didn't play the game. Again, for those that may have missed it, the Peacock version, you get to see Lisa and Meredith share their burn book stuff. But Angie was just like, uh-oh, she's crying already. Do I feel like Angie was really sorry? No. Based off of Angie's facial expressions, she was not sorry. She wasn't sorry. What's Angie's sign? What's Angie's sign? I don't remember what's Angie's sign. Is Angie a Scorpio? Can you guys confirm for me? What's Angie's sign? Because that would explain a lot. Alma says, the fact that Angie sent that to Heather, it made me wonder what else is in those texts. All right? Because Heather definitely says something about Angie. All right, let's move on because we have quite a few people backstage that want to call in and share their thoughts. Everyone backstage, please respect the timer because we have such a long line and it's already almost 6 p.m. here in New York. Danielle says that Angie was not sorry. She was not. Angie's a Scorpio. It makes sense. That says it all. The stinger was out when she wrote that text. Hey, Janelle. Angie is a Scorpio. It makes complete sense. I see Angie now. I see Angie for who she is. Okay. All right. Let's move on so we can get to our callers. Okay. We're almost at 600 likes, guys. Once we get to 600 likes, I'll drop the call in link for the live chat. Okay. So for those that didn't see the Peacock version, they do share. Lisa Barlow does one for Meredith, and she was like, Meredith digs up info to weaponize it. This is why they didn't share it during the Bravo version. Okay. It wasn't anything there. Meredith wasn't hurt. She's like, that was from a year ago. I understand. Fine. It wasn't anything. Okay. But Heather on Whitney, calling Whitney a low-life, thirsty piece of and sold her soul for fame and recognition and said, I put the Wild Rose products in my store and they never sold. Oh, Whitney felt that like a dagger. She did, but I thought it was interesting that Mary said that about Heather and literally Heather saying that about Whitney. This is probably why they had such conflicts because they were doing the same thing. They were projecting onto each other. And I always say this when we talk about Real Housewives, we talk about how marriages are ruined. We don't talk about how real friendships are ruined by reality television. As a Scorpio, I claim Angie. Jate says, Jate? That's the first time we've seen someone claim someone based off their astrological sign in here. Okay. Portia says, Heather claims she didn't mean it. I don't believe her. I think she meant every word of it. Angie tried to save her. It's like, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it. And Whitney's like, she did. Heather's like, I did not mean it. But I like what she said. It seems as if these two can actually move forward. It was actually weird. I was like, could we move forward after saying that? Okay, Mary says, as a Virgo, I claim Bronwyn. All right. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the Real Housewives of New York City, but also the season finale of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. And don't forget to turn on your notifications and subscribe to the Kempire podcast, where you can hear live recaps, but also special episodes like, some of the throwback episodes that we've done, Kempire After Dark, live shows as well. So be sure to subscribe there. Okay. All right. Whitney. So Whitney's moment comes. Whitney decides she's going to stay on Lisa's neck. Okay. Whitney could have shared any sort of text. I'm sure she said all kinds of things about Lisa, but this one was another reason why I said that Whitney is staying on her neck. Whitney is producing. I will say that, again, she could have chosen anything. She could have been like, I've said all kinds of crap. All right. Even her messages to the blogger, she could have shared. But no, she decided she's going to spill some tea in this moment, because this really had nothing to do with the worst thing that she has said. That's not the game. It's sharing the worst thing that you've said. Well, apparently this was a text message that she had sent to Angie about Lisa Barlow. And Lisa Barlow apparently being having a third person in her relationship with this other woman, where she kissed this other woman, and this woman, finished off her husband, John, with her hand. Okay. And Lisa actually read this without proofing it before, let me look through this before I share this. And she reads it. The minute she mentioned, oh, I kissed this woman, you should have been like, the mention of your husband, like, let me not finish this. But I think Lisa's in for producing the show and creating the best season. But in real life, would I have done something like that? Hell no. Anto says, I liked Whitney and Heather's handshake. Oh, me too. I thought that was funny. That's their signature handshake for each other. I was like, whoa, that was lethal of Whitney. But again, it's her staying on Lisa's neck, trying to create a moment. Aaliyah says there's a lot of swingers in Salt Lake City, especially if you watch the Hulu show with the Mom Talk. That was a whole swinger situation too. Apparently, they're all swingers there. But Lisa goes in on Whitney and then shifts her attention from Whitney. Like, her and Whitney go through it. There's a lot of back and forth between Whitney and Lisa in this moment. We can sit here and talk about, was it right, was it wrong? In real life, I think Whitney just did that to take a dig. She was not trying to burn a bridge or move forward with Lisa. Okay? And no matter what she wants to shift or say about it. And then Lisa turns on Angie K. And Angie K is just like, why are you mad at me? Angie K, you were making some faces that I thought were quite interesting during this conversation. You did not seem like you were appalled by it. You seemed kind of like, you were making like interesting like giggle faces. And then Lisa turns on Angie and she says, well, I heard that Sean does a circle jerk. Oh my God. But the way that Lisa said it didn't sound like she was making an analogy, and it reminded me of Real Housewives of New Jersey between Jackie and Teresa. I got it later what she was trying to do, but the way that it landed, it made it seem like she was saying, oh, well, this is what I heard. Lisa did not say, what, Angie, how would you feel if I said, oh, Sean, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, Angie gets upset. Angie stands up. The crew comes in to pull Angie back. Angie's like, get off of me. She throws a flower at Lisa Barlow. Mary stands up to save her friend. She's just like, calm down, calm down. And Mary's just like, you didn't have to bring Angie into this. They got each other's back. Those are sisters, okay? They have each other's back. But I'm like, why we bring poor Sean? I really like Sean. Of all the husbands, I like Sean. Look. Sean, that's it. Not Coordinator Shaw. Not the Todd father. Like, I like the Todd father, but no. John, I'm on the fence with John. Not too sure. But I like Sean, because Sean will step up for his wife. It feels genuine. Doesn't feel like it's forced. Yeah, just saying. I like Sean. All right. Drea, thank you so much for another. Okay, Drea, you sent a lot of super chats today. Let me shimmy. Ow, that hurt. Drea, thank you so much for the super chat. Drea says, as a Virgo, I don't claim Bronwyn. Damn, and she put it in the super chat. As a Virgo, I don't claim Bronwyn. Why? And you don't have to put it in a super chat. Wow. I mean, Bronwyn became lackluster at the end of the season for me. At the beginning of the season, I loved her. For the most of the season, I loved Bronwyn. But at the end, but I feel like she shifted on Lisa, because she was like, at the end, she was like, why is Lisa leaving? If I can take it, Angie talking about my family, why is her marriage off limits when everyone else's marriage is on the table? Okay. And then we see Meredith get up randomly, and she's like, I'm tired of this. I'm enough of this. And she storms off. And Wendy's just like, if we can all sit here and take it, they should be able to sit here and take it as well. I love the burn book game. Whoever came up with it, kudos to you. Kudos to you. You guys did a fantastic job. Okay. Oh, Doja says, I think John is scared of the cameras, not Lisa. No, he's scared of Lisa. I don't think he's scared of the cameras. Anyways. Archie says that John doesn't know how to park. A lot of people don't know how to park, it feels like, in this world. Okay. All right. Live chat, we're going to drop the call link for you guys. I know I talked a very long time, but I had to get my thoughts out. I literally watched an hour-long episode, unedited, extended version. Not unedited. I wish it was unedited. Uncensored, extended version of the episode, the season finale for Housewives of Salt Lake City. Mama Allie, if we can mark this as callers. I'm just giving Mama Allie work today, but at least I'm marking you, Mama Allie. All right. Tanya says, shimmy time. All right. Let's get to our callers. We have a long line. And callers, please drop out once you've spoken your piece, because the backstage is so full, it's saying that people are trying to get in, but they can't. Okay. So drop out. Again, please respect the timer. Let me put my disclaimer up. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the season finale of The Housewives of Salt Lake City. Fantastic. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to share your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. And also, don't forget, we don't just talk about Housewives here. We talk about everything in pop culture. And earlier today, we premiered a video talking about the Wendy Williams interview that she did on The Breakfast Club. So be sure to check that out. If you missed it, mods, if we can post a link to that in the live chat as well. The Rebel says, did Lisa read her text? She did. It wasn't shared in the Bravo version, but on Peacock, they shared that version where you see all of them share their texts. The reason why it wasn't included in the Bravo version, because it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything. All right. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook. As we see with the TikTok ban coming, you just never know where we might end up. So make sure that you're following us everywhere so that you can get updates, okay? Let me say thank you, and then we're going to get into our callers. But first, let me put on my disclaimer. The opinions of the caller do not reflect the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, our sponsors. They're all calling in of their own free will. They agree not to use profanity, not to use derogatory statements. They also agree to pay attention and respect the timer and respect everyone else. Okay? All right. Thank you, Foxy. Foxy says, please let Kempire mod the callers and don't be rude to the callers. Agreed. All right. All right. Okay, before we do that, let me just say thank you. We had a few super chats. Joe, thank you so much for another super chat. Thank you, Joe. Shibby. As a Capricorn, when was your birthday, Joe? Happy belated birthday. I claim Mary, except for the wild derogatory remarks in the cult. This is why she blocked me, okay? Oh, Mary Cosby's a Capricorn? Oh, that makes sense. Why she's so grounded. In a lot of ways, she's grounded. Crystal Blue, thank you for the super chat. Shimmy. Hi, Kempire. I missed this episode, but happy to catch a recap live. I can't wait for the meet and greet. See you next week. I booked a hotel room and making it a staycation. Okay, Crystal. That's amazing. Where are you staying? Look, you don't have to tell me. I know there are quite a few hotels right around the venue. So yeah. April, thank you so much for the super chat. April says, so no one is going to explain a circle. Imagine in your mind, like, I feel like it's self-explanatory. Okay, I'll explain it for April in a way that I can. It actually has a couple of jabs in her saying a circle jerk, because the circle jerk is going to be a bunch of men, which connotates that Sean might be gay, goes back to the gay rumors, and it also is a sexual act. So, and it's the jerking of his private area with a bunch of other guys. Look. Okay, April, you put it in the super chat, so I had to explain it. Okay? You're welcome. Oh, God. I can't believe y'all got me explaining this. Oh, no, Mary's a Libra? Okay. She's a Libra. Okay. Well, that makes more sense. That makes even more sense. Stop making up the astrological signs. Okay, y'all? Okay. All right, let's get to the callers. Shout out to those of you watching. We appreciate you guys. And let me get to speaking of Joe. Joe's backstage. Let's bring up Joe first. Joe, what's going on?
Not much. I just want to apologize to Janelle because I haven't listened to her audio messages yet in the text, but I was watching your live, so
Well,
I was
here's Janelle.
Hi.
Bonjour.
No, me, Joe, and Norma have been texting all afternoon about this
Really?
because you know who we know.
Oh, I was like, wait. I was like, who?
And the thing is that the one thing that all four of us have in common is that we all know this person personally.
Oh.
More than just the YouTube streets.
Oh.
If you catch what I'm dropping. You knew. Don't try to act brand new.
I'm not acting brand new.
Don't be trying to act brand new today.
I'm not trying to be. My facial reaction is because I'm like, what are they saying? But I'm sure you guys will tell me later.
The podcaster.
Okay, well, is this being taken from my time?
I reclaim my time.
Janelle, I'm putting you back downstairs. I'm putting you right back down.
I'll go back down.
Okay. You're sorry.
Anyways, okay. Here are my thoughts. I don't think Lisa or Meredith really leaked the Alibaba stuff.
Okay.
But I could definitely see Heather do it. It's like a tit for tat for what Whitney did to her last season. But what was curious to me was how Whitney got involved with both reality Vontees and a podcaster about digging stuff on Lisa Barlow, considering how both reality Vontees and a podcaster started their own podcast that lasted about 6 episodes. That was a really bad move for Whitney this season. Also, I kind of detest that they keep saying about this person being a podcaster. I think it's just offensive to the real podcasters out there. And I leave you with this question, Kempire.
Yeah.
Honestly, what are your thoughts about your YouTube thumbnail-loving bestie podcaster inserting himself into the Salt Lake City storyline? Was it thirsty, desperate, hot, and messy, or all of the above, and why?
Let me think. Oh, your time is up. Thanks so much, Joe, for calling in. Joe is so messy. Y'all already know I'm not getting involved. I don't get involved. Y'all want to get involved? Y'all get involved. I have too much going on in my life that's of value to talk about than that. All right. Wendy's backstage. You're going to bring Wendy up next. Wendy, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm fine. Okay, so the RHONY, I gave it a -500. It was trash. It was just trash this whole season. And I was like, okay, I'm glad. I kind of wish that last night was the last episode and one more episode for Salt Lake City. Okay, so I really enjoyed Mary's vulnerability when she was talking about her abandonment issues. That really struck a chord with me. And Lisa really did go low when she added Angie to the pot with their thing. And so I just thought that was a low blow too. You know, she's going to always derail and make herself seem like the victim and everything. And that's all I have to say. And you have a great day.
Yes, Wendy.
Somebody may need to use my extra seconds. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Wendy. Oh, and she still had 20 seconds to go. All right. We have Ellie backstage. We're going to bring Ellie up next. Ellie, what did you want to say about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Ellie? Uh-oh, Ellie, I can't hear you. Ellie, do me a favor. If you can hear me, drop out and then call back in, and I'll bring you back up.
Hello?
Oh, wait, there you go. Now I can. What happened?
Okay, it's my AirPods. I think they want me to buy new ones because I think that's what they're doing right now. Anyway, so I just first want to just clap. Just bra effing vo to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Wow, just wonderful. I made a quick little list so I can go fast.
Okay.
The crack in Angie's cry when everything melted away, you could tell she got a real fear. She was like, oh no, this is for real and I'm not playing. Yeah. She was, Mary, give me your hand. Mary, look at me. Mm-hmm. Mary, I love you. And the face that Mary made when she said, I love you, she was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I just love them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lisa and the wig snatch. Now, Dorit needs to take notes because that's how you lunge. That's how you lunge, Dorit. The burn book, I don't know whose idea it was. Maybe it was editors because it looked so organic. Like We're in this conversation. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna burn book it right now. Therapy sesh. Let's go. Loved it.
Yeah.
And Meredith and Lisa in that game, they really could have taken that game and really made it their own. Like, you know what? Look at us. I said horrible things about Meredith, and we're besties now. You know, like they really could have made something with that. Instead, they just ran away like the little rats that they are. Anyway. And then, well, that's it, Kempire. Thank you so much.
Ellie.
And this was wonderful. I love your community.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Ellie. Take care. Yeah, for some reason with when you call in, guys, if you're wearing the AirPods, sometimes it doesn't work. And also the sound quality isn't the greatest. I've never seen it not connect where I can hear you, but just keep that in mind with the AirPods. All right, April Jones, we're going to bring you up next. April, what did you want to share?
Hello, good evening. When you were explaining the one comment to the other April, I was like, oh my goodness. But if Lisa would have said that about my husband, I would have been like, and that's why your son has no friends. Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like no one will be come to his party or the next one. Good luck, Toots. Yeah, pack it up. Let's go.
No, leave Henry alone.
No, he'll have no fury like me. But I love Mary and Angie's relationship. I do agree Brittany is emotional manipulative, or however they phrased it, because each scene she cries, like she starts something, cries, and then storms off. I get it. You got cornered in the last episode, but be a big girl, put on your big girl panties. I do think there is something shaky about Meredith's like relationship, because in the clip, it looked weird. And Bronwyn has made a list for each and every single one of them. She may have crack, but Virgos, trust me, she knows everything about them, so it is not safe. And they all should have jumped on Heather because she kicked it off.
Yep.
Have a great day, Kempire.
You too, April. Take care. April, why did April come for Henry? I love me some Henry. No, leave Henry alone. Leave Henry alone. Angel Baby says, talk about John, not Henry, not Harry. All right, Janelle's backstage. We're going to bring Janelle up next. Janelle, what did you want to share?
Bonjour, Kempire.
We already spoke. Look, we already spoke.
Yeah, yes. But you know, I still gotta say my bonjour.
Yes.
But anyway, no. But for real, me, Joe, and Norma have been talking. We have been exchanging notes because I watched the Peacock version because, you know, I got the Peacock subscription. I don't have the cable subscription. And first off, let me tell you, as a Sagittarius, I will claim Lisa Barlow and Meredith because one thing we let me tell you, we like to talk about ourselves. That's one. So I claim that. Two, we can see some witty stuff that would be like, what? Because that probiotic zinger was everything. I gagged. I was like, okay, Lisa, I may like you again. And three, we love to run away from situations that we want no part of. Or like, oh, you know what? My name is Bennett, and I guess I'm not in it, and you just have to go. So I would have been. No. I'm an Aries rising, so I probably would have stayed and be like, "What's good?"
Oh,
but I understand. Be like, "What's good?" But I wouldn't. But and also we do love to cry. So when Lisa started crying and Meredith started crying, I said, "Lord Jesus, we do love to cry." But anyways, I do think so. But also, I just want Bronwyn's a Virgo. We all know that. And Brittany is a Gemini. And Lord Jesus, she a Mormon and a Gemini. It makes so much sense. But she two-faced. But last thing I'll say is the podcaster. That's all I'll say. Because we'll have to talk offline because I can't let my notes. Oh, and also Mary is a Capricorn, so I don't know. She's not. I don't. No, she is a Libra. I'm sorry.
She's a Libra. Yeah, she's a Libra.
She was born October 21st, so she's a cusper between Libra and Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
I would love to know.
You know when she's hearing all this conversation about astrological signs, she's like, "Death to you all. We don't believe in that." Okay.
But also, I had to go because I have to respect the timer. But I'm also shocked that she didn't say anything about said podcaster, knowing that he interviewed her mother years ago during the panorama. So I was a little shocked that she didn't say anything because I know she saw it because she mentioned.
But maybe she didn't realize it was the same person.
She knew.
Oh, maybe.
Mary likes to act like she's not paying attention, but she's paying attention. That's all I gotta say. Have a wonderful night, my dear. I hope you're getting something to eat soon. Yes. And Joe, text me back. I was about to cuss. I had to hold myself back. Text me back. Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. Let's get to some more callers, guys. But please, let's respect the timer because we have a long line backstage. All right. Miss Brooklyn's backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Miss Brooklyn, what did you want to share?
Hi, everybody. Hey. I think the problem with New York is that these women were not friends. They just cast some random women, threw them together.
Yeah.
The only way to reboot New York and make it work is to make them submit themselves as a group of 6 so that you know that they are real friends.
Yeah.
Like when Beverly Hills started off, Kyle submitted all the names of everybody. She knew these people. They were all friends. New York fell flat because they don't know each other.
Nope.
As for Salt Lake City, I think Mary and Angie's friendship is very much in line with Sutton and Garcelle. I think that's a real friendship. Like there was real hurt. There was a real fight for that friendship. I think that is one of the ones that will last over the time. I think Salt Lake City killed it. Everybody else take notes because they're coming for your necks. They're showing how a show should be done. I love the burn book thing. It was messy, but it was great television. But it was also therapeutic for them. And I think that worked. And if you notice, Meredith got up and walked away before she had to say anything. She's the only one who didn't say anything because she's a coward and she didn't want to get called out for whatever it was she had to say about somebody. So I hope they call her out at the reunion for that. Yeah. Respecting the timer, throwing my time to someone else. Have a great night.
Thanks, Ms. Brooklyn. Yeah, because I don't remember, even in the Peacock version, what Meredith said for her burn book. But apparently, Lisa Barlow says that they all said something, but I don't remember if Meredith said something in the Peacock version. If she did, it wasn't worth showing because they didn't show in the Bravo version. Lisa's one wasn't worth showing either. All right, let me say thank you because we had a couple of super chats and then we're going to get to the rest of the callers. Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. Allie says, it was so thirsty, I've been parched for 1,000 years. Oh my gosh. Candace, thank you so much for another super chat. Candace says, Brittany is a Gemini. We don't claim her. I don't really know. I mean, I know a couple of Gemini women. I feel like Brittany is a special in all her own self. I don't feel like she exemplifies Gemini or anything like that. Maybe the personality stuff, but other than that, I don't know. All right. We have Lee backstage. We'll bring Lee up next. Lee, what did you want to share?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. So first I want to say the season was phenomenal. Hundreds, tens across the board. They won. They won every award out there. But I do have to say there was a lot of Monica remnants throughout the season. So without Monica's impact last season, a lot of things wouldn't have happened this season. Like Heather probably would have trusted Bronwyn earlier. There would have been no burn book game. Heather wouldn't have, reached out to her for some more tea. So it's just like, not Heather, Whitney wouldn't have reached out to her for some more tea. So, I mean, we're saying like, oh, we didn't need Monica, but she was still kind of there. So I'm interested to see next season if there's going to be like no Monica remnants like at all. And then my last thing I want to say is I love Mary and Angie's relationship. I love that. That was just so heartfelt. And honestly, it would be such a true blessing if everybody in the world had a friendship like that, where you can just deeply connect to somebody and not feel judged and you just feel heard and seen. And yeah, I just wish that for everybody. I don't know if that's happy, but I just do. Everybody deserves something like that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lee.
No worries. Oh, and thank you for explaining circle jerk because I had no idea. I didn't want to Google it.
Oh, especially not at work. All right. Bye, Lee. Damn. Okay, y'all didn't know. Oh, I guess it is more of a gay term. I would assume. It's like the heterosexual world, especially for women, you're not thinking about that. Yeah, that's more of a gay thing. That's like a category in the... Yeah. But I like Lee's perspective. I mean, she brought up a valid point on the impact of Monica, Reality, Von Teese, Garcia, Darnell, Delgado, Jussie Smollett. All right, I had to do it for one last time for this season. Clearly, it's Janae. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for being a member. Oh, wait, not a super chat, a comment. You said they didn't show it in the Peacock version. Yeah, I figured I didn't remember it, and I was taking notes. I was like, I don't remember them doing that. But I already knew that it wasn't worth mentioning because... And she did end up getting up from the table. So it would have been interesting to see what Meredith would have done. Meredith does have, during the reunion trailer, she gets really upset and looks like she's leaving. Meredith, you're not going anywhere. All right, let me go. NYC DNP, we're going to bring you up next. What's going on, NYC? Oh, why can't I hear? Oh, there we go.
Libra Sun, Aqua Moon, Gemini Rising. All here. But anyway, so now you about me. I was listening to the various podcasts and like YouTubes or whatever. Like, I have not seen the episode, but I was just dying for someone to put the link together. Monica had the thing with that guy, the YouTuber or whatever, and a blogger. I don't know. Anyway, but no one was doing it. And then finally, Joe called it and did it. And I was like, oh, God, show me all day. But anyway, that and all the patience. So I think the New York RHONY is trash. I couldn't even get to the last episode. But what I think they should do is replace that with an NYC Married to Medicine. And I can marry and get us both on the show. I would love to be a CAMEO. You guys are amazing. But anyway, that's all I got, really, honestly. Y'all are amazing. I can't wait to see you in New York.
Yes.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Take care. All right. That's actually, I didn't even think about that because, they did try to do Married to Medicine. They tried to do Married to Medicine in LA, and a lot of people liked that. And then they were, word on the street, they were trying to work on one for the DMV, and that didn't happen. But in New York City could be very possible. There's plenty of doctors and doctors' wives and doctors' husbands, doctor couples in New York. I'm so surprised that they haven't tried to do that. Or maybe they have, and it just never came together. Okay. All right. Let me take the rest of these callers. Hayat, it's saying device is not connected. You might have to drop out and call back in. Oh, now it's working. All right. But Kai's right before you, so let me bring up Kai. I just saw it. I was giving you a heads up. Kai, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah,
Happy Traders Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me just say this. First of all, the jury is from one of the Alis. I don't know if it's Alibaba. I don't know if it's AliExpress. Because this could have been cleared up. You could have just showed the girls. You could have blurred it out for us. Where do you get your stuff? It was probably someone that bought that stuff that did that rumor. Because I think Lisa would be too smart to send it in herself. Now, on to this game. Let's run Heather her producer credit and let's contact the Emmys because this season was excellent. It was so good. However, the game was crazy to me. I'm not pulling out my worst text message. I'm just not doing it. And also, I feel like Whitney was being very messy. She did, like everyone is saying, wanted her to read that rumor out loud. I would have skimmed it and then I would have lunged across the table. I wouldn't have even read it because, however, Circle Jerk, that was funny to me. But let's play devil's advocate because I'm really confused as to why she singled him out. I do know that Whitney sent that text to Angie. Did she maybe see a response from Angie that maybe she was laughing, maybe she thought it was funny, and that's why she decided to, go at her. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you.
However, I am also a Scorpio, and so I'm with Angie, and I would have got rowdy too because the circle jerk, it would have been hilarious if it was anybody else but my husband. So.
I know that's right.
Happy Thursday, guys.
You too. I mean, I didn't think about that because it makes me wonder, like, were they showing them the actual text or were they just showing them like a screenshot of the text? It looked like maybe they were showing them the text and maybe she did see Angie be like, OMG, you're right. Okay. All right. Hayad, backstage. We're going to bring Hayad up next. Hayad, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Just wanted to say once again, thank you for not being a messy person and minding your business because you are the one blogger that I can watch, YouTuber, podcaster, all of the above, entrepreneur that I can watch and I know will not get into weird situations with Housewives. But anyways, Monica is such a liar. Nobody called her mid-season for this season. There's no way. This season was phenomenal. They were batting whatever the batting thing is. I don't do sports. But they were doing the thing. And I'm actually so in awe with how much time these people were campaigning for Jen Shah on these other actor shows, talking about Bring Her On. But Monica is honestly the worst human being. Jen Shah gave Heather a black eye. There's nothing worse than that. You know what? If I was Jen Shah, I'd be making my own cult at this point because the way she has these people, I don't know what it is. Anyways, really quickly, Angie and Mary broke my heart in the best way because they showed these women what a real friendship looks like on that table. And I think Meredith is starting to understand that she never really was a friend to Mary. It was very surface level. But anyways, Kempire, love everything you're doing. This was great. I'm going to re-watch the live again because it's just good. It's great stuff.
Thank you. Thank you, Hayat. Take care. Okay, there was something that Hayat said that I wanted to mention in regards to the episode. I can't remember now. All right, so we'll move on because Anthony's backstage. We're going to bring Anthony up next. Anthony, what did you want to share?
Hey, everyone. Hey, Kempire. Hey. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. So for RHONY, 0 out of 10, -0. Uba, nobody wish, not even Tyra, not even Claudia, not even Linda, not even Cindy, absolutely no one. And then for Brynn flying private, that's the biggest joke of 2025, and we just started. Be so for real. Cancel the show. For Salt Lake City, 10 times 10. I can't even believe they actually ended it on this note. That burn book game, I'm going to start playing that at my next brunch with my girlfriends, and best believe I'm going to have the time of my life. I cannot. It's diabolical, but it's therapeutic. I feel like it's therapeutic. I know it'll help me out, and I'm sure it's going to help my friends.
You let me know how that goes.
I will do on next week's call. And then lastly, just 2 notes for Salt Lake City. I wish Brittany would have been full-time. I know she's a hot mess, but she's our hot mess, and it's very entertained. I was so entertained by her this entire season, especially with the friend of having solo scenes beyond. But I wish she was full-time. And for the friend of, mainly, I don't know where you are. That was a waste. But that casting photo was tense, but it was a waste. But that's all I have to say. Thank you so much, Kempire. Happy New Year.
Anthony, you too. Here's the thing. Anthony, he's playing a dangerous game by playing that game with his friends, okay? But it made me think, these housewives on Salt Lake City, y'all are some real ones. Like, y'all are some G's. Because you all heard Heather say, let's play this game, and y'all were like, fine, let's do it. And really played the game for the most part. I don't know about Meredith. I don't know about Lisa. I don't know about Brittany. But everyone else that really went there, I was like, y'all are here to play the game. I respect it. I'm not doing that with my friends. But then again, I'm not really writing disgusting things about my friends like that. I'm being honest. I'll probably tell you to your face. I also don't want to put things on text. You know what I mean? Anyways, Arjun's backstage. We're going to bring Arjun up next. Arjun, what do you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
I have a question. Did they, you know how you said you watched on Peacock? Mm-hmm. So, did they show Lisa's and Meredith's test before they left the table?
They showed Lisa's text before she left the table. I don't think Meredith did it. It didn't show it in the extended version.
Also, are they soft launching Monica's back?
I don't think so.
Oh, because Whitney's playing with us. Okay, and also Lisa, she's the MVP. She is. This was her season. This was Lisa's season. Oh. Love her, baby gorgeous. Bye.
All right, Arjun, that was 20 seconds. All right, the Heathers is backstage. We're gonna bring the Heathers up next. The Heathers. What did you want to share? Speaking of the Heathers,
hi. I have thoughts and questions. First off, being a native Ohioan, I have to say from the reunion trailer, Seth's Woman in Ohio, that would be in Columbus where I live. So I was dying. I was gagged when that announced because I was like, oh my, I wonder if I know her. Probably not, but oh my God. And then also with the burn book, I wondered if Lisa's was on Angie's or Meredith. Do you know from the text?
Oh, Lisa's was on Meredith.
Oh, okay. And then so Meredith would have been on Angie because everyone did a 1-for-1 across the table if you break it out, which I did in the Discord chat. So I'm going to plug our Discord chat for that. So please come and join us. We can talk all kinds of tea there. Looking at you, Janelle. And I really did love the season overall, it was so fantastic, and the ending was actually great. But I just still don't understand why everyone's upset with Bronwyn, or why Heather thinks Bronwyn's going to get it at the end of the season. Because she said that on her first Watch What Happens Live, and it just still doesn't make sense to me. Because Bronwyn is like holding a flame for Lisa, which, you know, she doesn't deserve. And Bronwyn, I think, finally recognized that Lisa really is not her friend at all. No. And like Lisa said in the after show, they were just surface friends. But also in the after show, Lisa talked crap about, you know, who returns clothes and that forth and such. But Bronwyn had said that Brittany is the one who returns clothes. And she actually has seen the clothes that she returned. So just putting that out there. But thank you so much. And Happy New Year.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, make sure you guys shout out to our Discord friends. I will post the link to the Discord. We do it every once in a while for our members exclusively. Sorry. All right. Ariel's backstage. Going to bring Ariel up next. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Let me say thank you, though, first. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Bianca says, regardless of her intent, Lisa showed that she doesn't care for Angie. In my best Bronwyn voice, Lisa would never let Angie say that to her, even as an example. Thank you, Bianca, for another super chat. We appreciate your support. All right. Let me get to the rest of these callers because we still have a long line. All right. Ariel, we're going to bring you up next. Ariel, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. First, I love you. I love how unbiased you are. You are right. You don't get involved. And I love that about you. I wanted to say first, number one, Heather has been like so manipulative this season. She skates out of so much. She is so close to Meredith, but that conversation where she threw Meredith and Lisa under the bus about their husbands, like she dodged that bullet. She's been dodging bullets all season. She is such a pop star. That burn book idea was horrible, and I would have not played that. She and Monica are the same. I don't understand why she doesn't like her, but that's another story for another time. I love Lisa. I do feel as though Whitney, be very careful on how you like how Whitney is being with Lisa, because I just get the feeling that can be very dangerous. Like she has something there, some type of jealousy, and if that is not nipped in the bud, that will be the downfall of Salt Lake City. She is something there. She's very conniving, and she will stoop to so many low levels. She has no morals. What she did to Mary about that church, and what she did to Meredith about her father's funeral, that was disgusting. Like, she is so disgusting. I can say more, but the time is up. Bronwyn is two-faced. I think everything people think about Lisa is actually about Bronwyn. When Bronwyn first came on, I loved her, but I'm actually feeling reverse. I think Brittany is more genuine than Bronwyn is. She is very calculated. She's very calculated. Think about it. Brittany has been honest. She says she puts men over her children. She says she's a hopeless romantic. She has been very honest. If you think about it, it's Bronwyn who's the conniving one. She's very underhanded.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ariel, for calling in. All right. I agree about Whitney. Whitney has done some things, and that's why I said to you, there are a lot of things, especially in this one episode, the season finale of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, that I'm just like, she could have easily breezed over it and had a celebratory moment for Lisa, but she was like, nope, I'm going to take that moment. And there have been countless other examples of Whitney doing things, trying to create things, which what Ariel said is very dangerous when you think about it, because a lot of these housewives, especially in this new era of housewives, this new chapter of housewives, where people are trying to create. We see that on Real Housewives in New York, but they're just failing miserably at it because there's nothing real here. All right, let's bring Tracy up next. Tracy, what did you want to share in regards to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Hello, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you today?
I'm such a fan. I love you. Have been loving you forever. We need you to come to Dallas, though, okay?
Yes.
We need you to come on to Texas. I'll go anywhere in Texas you are, though.
Oh, okay, noted.
Yes. So I have a little list. So my first thing is about Bronwyn. I feel like when she first came on the show that she thought she was going to be like the it girl, kind of like how Diane was of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Because even Lisa had said that she liked her a lot and she was drawn to her because of her money and everything. And I think she thought Lisa was going to keep that same energy and the other girls were going to flock to her too. So when that didn't happen, that's when she got a little desperate, started talking about the husband stuff, and then kind of retracted a little bit and Watch What Happens Live. So I feel like she is just kind of was underwhelmed, than what she thought she was going to be.
Yeah.
That's how I feel on that. And then I do like Lisa and Meredith. I really do. I think what I like about Lisa, though, I'm a Sagittarius too. So I think what I like about Lisa, though, is because she owns who she is. Like her or not, she's comfortable in herself. So if another woman is less comfortable in who she is and she's around that, she's not going to feel that, oh, Lord, Kempire, let me hurry up and go. That's about it. Oh, and one more thing. I feel like the whole Angie situation, why should I feel comfortable? I feel like her going off on Angie is kind of like, Angie was not being authentic. My thing is, why does somebody feel comfortable to come to you and talk about me? Why do they feel comfortable? What's being said? So I think she's picking up on that.
Okay.
And that's all.
Thank you, Tracy. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
I mean, you guys are bringing really valid points. Now you make me kind of like, good point. I mean, especially because it does feel like Lisa just came after Angie, but we don't know what Lisa saw in that text message. We don't know what Lisa was thinking about in regards to, why does, Whitney feel so comfortable to share such a damaging thing about my marriage? Things to think about. All right. Let's bring up Matea next. Hold on, Matea. Matea, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So I ate some crow pie because I also thought it would fail without Monica, but this entire season was phenomenal.
Yes.
In my opinion, it was the best season so far. But I think Meredith should be demoted to friend of and give Brittany her snowflake because she was giving kind of like Kiarna, like paint drying, wasn't really that much of anything. And Lisa took it way too far by bringing in Sean. If anything, go after Justin and his mess. Like, leave Sean out of this. Like, no. And I also agree with the person who said we Geminis do not claim Brittany, because no, it's not given that. And also, lastly, I'm just going to say, please come back to Boston. We need you. Okay. And free Wendy. That's all I got to say.
Amen. Thank you, Matea, for calling in. All right, she did that in 40 seconds. Love it. All right. Andrea's backstage. We're going to bring Andrea up next. Andrea, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I did make a list. So first of all, Anthony was one of the callers. I want to say he said he was from LA. So we're praying for him and his family.
Yeah.
And everybody in LA, right?
Definitely.
Mary and Angie, I love their relationship. Whitney always looks like a deer caught in headlights. There was someone in the chat that was talking about giving you the real tea. And we're not going to do that. Just respect him because everybody that is here, as far as all the bloggers that we watch and vloggers that we watch, we always respect y'all's opinion. So just be respectful when it comes down to everybody having their opinion. Mm-hmm. That's one. Okay. Bronwyn, I liked her until she started to act different at the last 4 episodes, so I can't. Lisa's a narcissist. High body count hair, Brittany. I think that she needs to be there. I'm sorry, real quick. She needs to come back. And then Meredith and her vocal fry family and her, they can go. And then side note, real quick. Did you know that Monica was the voice on House of Villains?
I did.
This season.
She made an appearance.
So I'm like, they still hiring this girl.
There's still a relationship.
So, but other than that, I love you, Kempire. Oh, are you going to come I'm from New Orleans, but I live in Seattle. Are you going to come to Seattle?
I hope to at some point.
Yes, because if you come to Seattle, baby, I'm going to be there.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Andre, for calling in.
Love you.
Thank you. Take care. I know you guys want me to come everywhere. I want to come everywhere. I love all these places. And I love meeting you guys in person. All right. Monica. So one of the callers mentioned that Monica had said in a previous interview or on social media, I can't remember, that mid-season, I think it was in a podcast or something like that, that during the season, production had reached out to her to come back. But some people on the cast blocked it. And some people watch the season and they're like, I don't believe that. I believe that because if we see that they're mentioning Monica, they're talking about Monica, this comes out at the end of the season, I could see them wanting to at least have maybe a moment with Whitney and Monica filming. But look, again, we watch the season. I get the producers wanting to bring a full circle moment, but we were okay. I think if she did come back and she did do well, then maybe they probably would have considered bringing Monica back in some shape or form next season. I don't think it's completely off the table, though, especially because Monica was mentioned a couple of times this season and during the season finale. All right, let me get to these last couple of callers, guys, and then I gotta go. I'm wore out. All right, Miss Bernice, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, what up, to everyone?
Hey,
this Miss B from the D Capricorn and out. Oh. I got two points of view, one on RHONY and one on Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. On RHONY, Aaron and Brian made it their duty to attack either Uma or the pretty one. Jessel, the whole season. Mm-hmm. So, and they were undermining Uma from the beginning to the end of the season because they kept going back and forth talking about how angry she is, how you can't talk to her, how she blows up. But she doesn't blow up just to blow up. She blows up when you pick on her or you do something disrespectful. Now, you know she loved people and she loved hard. And she has been there for Aaron and for Brian because she said that when Brian was going through something, I was there for her. I didn't talk about it, but I was there for her. And it come to the end of the season, all through the season, you was undermining trying to destroy this girl by getting her to blow up. And then you jump back and play victim. I don't know why she acting like that. Come on now. That's why I'm going to enjoy the show leaving because that wasn't cool. And for Salt Lake City, I love Angie and Mary's relationship because Mary needed that support this season. And I could see Bronwyn being the other support for Mary. But them other ladies, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Nah.
You don't think they could be supportive?
No, because they're too self-centered. You saw how Meredith looked like she was crying because you couldn't be that friend for Mary because you too stuck in your world that you can't look at somebody else with empathy because you can't see anything besides you. That's why you and Lisa are so well together because that's all you got.
Okay. All right, Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, kiddo. Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. Let's get to these last couple of callers. We have Lady. I like how you did that. Lady, what did you want to share?
Hi. Okay, so I don't want to beat up on Whitney because I feel like we've been beating up on her and she seems fragile. But I re-binge the seasons going back when we get closer to a reunion. And re-binging seasons, she's been strategic for a while. She's been doing things like this for a while. And with Lisa specifically, it's a weird obsession. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but she's like said herself, I don't know what it is about you, but you annoy me. And that makes me feel like I want to be friends. Like, I just want to know more about what is her thing with Lisa. I don't get it. That's all. Okay. I think it's deeper than what we know. And I don't know if it's because Lisa represents, the typical Salt Lake City family. And Wendy, Whitney started from a foundation of an affair. So they both represent different things as well.
Okay.
So,
all right.
but that's it.
Thank you, lady, for calling in. All right. I mean, that's a valid point. I don't know if those are the things that are causing the rift between Lisa and Whitney. I think one of the things that we never really think about is that maybe it's the element of the show. Remember, the show they started this show together. They went from being unknown to being really popular. And a lot of times the friction that you're seeing them fight about on the show isn't the things that they're talking about. She doesn't care about them talking to bloggers. She doesn't care about them talking about her business line. It's more about the show. Who's the star of the show and all this other stuff. Who's getting more camera time. Who's getting more opportunities. Who's more of a fan favorite. Now, a lot of times that's what they're arguing about. All right. Eli's backstage. We're going to bring Eli up next. Eli, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. Hey. I just wanted to say, first of all, I cannot stand Lisa Barlow. First of all, I cannot stand her, okay? But I think she's good for the show, so she should stay. I want to say this is 10 out of 10 season. Love it. RHONY, I'm not even going to say anything. Trash, you need to throw it away. And Brynn is not that girl. Like, I'm really tired of her. Like, I'm sick. But anyway, it was really good. Mary and Angie made me cry. And I don't cry really on these shows, but they made me cry so much. Heather, I'm annoyed with her, but it is what it is. She's gonna stay. I feel like no matter how much I would want her to go and they pick somebody else, she's gonna stay. I just feel like that's what it is. But the season was really good. I don't know why Lisa had to bring up Angie's husband, and Whitney staying on Lisa's neck. 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give Whitney that much, but I gotta give her 10s. You know what I'm saying? And then I also want to say I would like to see Monica back. I feel like they're dragging what Monica did. It is not like, I get it. I get it, but at the same token, it's like, come on, let her in real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, Monica shouldn't stay forever, but, I feel like she'd be good for the show. And then Bronwyn. I know people are hating on her. I'm disappointed in her, but she deserves a second season. She did good enough to get a second season. And yeah, so she should stay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Eli. I mean, I agree. Who's saying that Bronwyn should have come back? I mean, I didn't love Bronwyn towards the end of the season, but I definitely think she should come back if the Todd father lets her. Okay. All right. Let's bring up Tish. Hold on. Oh, wait. Tish, there we go. Tish, what did you want to share?
Hi.
Hey.
So this is my first time calling in, so I'm a bit nervous.
It's okay.
But I just want to say that first and foremost, I agree with everyone that said that you are unbiased. That's actually one of the things I appreciate about you.
Thank you.
I think you would be a really good judge because you're fair. You see it from every perspective, and I think that's needed, right?
Thank you.
Okay. RHONY, I think Erin is stupid. I think she should thank Uba for stopping that prank, because why would you want your husband to pretend or imagine your friend in any provocative way? Make it make sense. Uba did the right thing. Okay. SLC. Okay, Mary, they were dragging Mary on Twitter last night, and I felt so bad for her because I get it. When you are coming from a traumatic place, and you have a trauma response, it doesn't make sense, right? It comes from a very irrational place, and you get triggered so easily. And that, I think, is why I appreciated Angie so much more in that moment, because instead of being agitated or annoyed or defensive, she saw her friend.
Yeah.
She knew her friend. She said, hey, I suffer from the same thing, so I'm going to give you the grace that I would want in this moment. And I did not see it for Angie before. And I am so glad I was wrong about her. Oh, I'm so sorry. I ran out of time. Okay, really quick. Brittany and Mia are the same person. Y'all were entertained by Mia before, and Mia is over here creating scenarios, doing anything for attention, and that is Brittany. I know y'all want Brittany back, but I really, really feel like y'all are playing with fire.
Yup. No, you're right, Tish. I told you, the behavior I've been seeing from her on social media is definitely giving me
she does anything for attention, running off and crying. She triggers me. I work in corporate America. I see women like that all the time that will do something and then
they're dangerous, record you.
Yes, she is very dangerous. I get that she's entertaining right now, but that's because she hasn't taken it too far yet. But she will, because she likes attention.
But maybe that's why she didn't get the full.
That is not good.
And maybe that's why she didn't get full time.
Yes, I really think Mia is a lesson. We need to learn from Mia.
You're right. Look, I'm learning.
And then one more really quick thing. Someone said they wonder why Heather's not getting called out because they all have an alliance.
Yep.
All of the OGs, except for Mary, have an alliance, and
Yep.
that's why they overlook every single thing that they do, or
Yep.
they minimize it, or they downplay it, or they make excuses.
And it's all obvious.
Because of Monica, they all want to feel like now they got to stick together.
Yeah.
So.
And they
Thank
seen
you.
that it worked because now Monica
Yes.
didn't return.
Exactly. So now and that's why they tried to do that with Bronwyn, but it didn't work.
Nope. All right, Tish. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
One of the things that Tish mentioned that I wanted to mention that we didn't mention during our Real Housewives of New York City conversation was Abe did have a confessional where he talked about that incident. And he says, I wouldn't, do any, because I guess they do welcome people into their relationship, Abe and Aaron from Real Housewives of New York. And he said, normally whoever they hook up with, it's not going to be a friend because that can get complicated. Agreed. But then I'm like, okay. All right. And I still don't believe you, Aaron, that you gave him that you texted him beforehand. No, you didn't. Because you didn't even have your phone with you. Whatever. All right. DM, you will be our final caller. What did you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Hi. So funny thing, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you were getting live, the money in the chat, Drea W kept posting, right? And I'm here doing paperwork at work, and my name is also Drea, so I kept looking at my phone. I was like, not me spending coin and not knowing. But to go to the blogger of this episode, and correct me if I'm wrong, a very long time ago you collabed with this blogger, and then I saw your collab with him, and I subscribed instantly to you because I just loved what you were putting out. And when I was thinking about that, I was like, it's about time I become a senior royal. So that's what I had to go ahead and do.
Thank you.
Because I love your videos. They send me so much joy.
Oh.
Now, about this episode, I loved it, loved it, loved it. I think Heather and Whitney should be friends of next season and then try to bring Miley back as a real housewife to get her story. Because Whitney and Heather just ain't got nothing going on. Nothing that I want to see, at least. But loved it. It brought me to tears because, especially Mary and them, that was just, because I have friends like that in my life. So I was like, and I agree with one of the callers saying this is the type of friends you want to have in your life, because I have so many of them, and it's just beautiful. And last thing I want to say, there's a Diddy documentary on Peacock.
Yes.
Are you going to be recapping that?
I want to. I saw it came out, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I haven't watched it yet. I do want to unpack it, but as you see, it's been nonstop. So hopefully, maybe this weekend I'll have a chance to sit down because, I like to watch and then take notes and things like that. So that is my hope. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, because I would love to see your take on it because they brought something different than the other Diddy documentaries that came out. So I'm excited to see your review of that.
Okay.
And I just love you, Kempire, and thank you.
Thank you, Drea. Now I know your name. Drea, thank you so much.
Right, bye.
Take care. Bye. Shout out to all the callers. We appreciate you guys being a part of our conversation. But if you're part of the replay crew, I get it. Not everyone can be here. Shout out to those of you that watch internationally. I know it's probably nighttime or it's you're just waking up. So if you're part of the replay crew, I know you wanted to be a part of this conversation and share your thoughts. Share your thoughts below. Let us know where you're watching from because I think that's cool. Why you missed our recap. It's fine. And also, don't forget, guys, to check out the recap that I gave you in regards to the Wendy Williams, the Breakfast Club interview that she did this morning. She also did an interview with Don Lemon. We unpack the Breakfast Club interview because that was a much longer interview that she did, and she did that interview before she did the Don Lemon interview. I do mention the Don Lemon interview a little bit. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. Shout out to, again, those of you that called in. Shout out to those of you that sent in super chats. Speaking of super chats, let me just say thank you. Oh, wait, first, Sean, I forgot about this. Sean says, I found an old British Vogue with all of the black supermodels, Iman included, and Uba is on the cover. I screamed. I want to clear something up. I know I said earlier that when Uba said, Naomi wish, Giselle wish. I never said that Uba wasn't a model that I knew Uba before the Real Housewives of New York. Did I know her by name? I did know her by name. But I've seen her face multiple times on so many different ads. She definitely is. To me, she's on the level like a Cynthia Bailey when Cynthia Bailey came to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was like a popular model. But you're right. If anything, she probably was bigger than than Cynthia Bailey, technically. I don't like to compare, but for me, they're on that same level. But to say that Naomi Wish, Giselle Wish, no. No, but you're right. She's definitely notable. She's definitely notable, and she definitely makes more money than Brynn. Oh, Sean, you sent a super chat. Sean wanted to make sure I found it. She said, I found the Italian Vogue July 2003 in my closet. Look at you. And it's entitled The Black Issue. Every supermodel from Alec Weck, Naomi, Pat Cleveland, Tyra, Amon, and guess who is on the cover? Uba, 2003. Wow. That's 20, almost 22 years ago. Thank you for bringing that up, Sean. Thank you for that. If anything, DM me the picture. Thank you so much for that. Bianca, thank you so much for another super chat. Let me shimmy for the super chats that you guys just sent. Ooh. All right. Bianca, thank you for the super chat. Bianca says, Mary could have sat the game out. They said a couple of reunions ago, Mary sends mean texts to all of them about themselves. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Well, you're right. Mary probably, they know how Mary feels about them, so she really didn't have to. But I feel like the text that Mary sent, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was straight to the point. I think it was it felt the energy of the game, but it wasn't too mean and too far. But it was honest. Okay. Anyways, guys, we appreciate all of the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps, the PayPals. We appreciate that. Those of you that request me on Cameo, those of you that have rated our podcast, don't forget you can hear a podcast version of our live recaps and special episodes. And sometimes I drop things there first. So you might want to make sure that you're subscribed and your notifications are on for the podcast, okay? So make sure you subscribe to that. And, of course, thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat. We cannot do this without them, especially when talking about some sensitive topics, some interesting topics, some challenging and conflicting topics as well. So we appreciate them. And, of course, shout out to our channel members. Shout out to those of you watching in the bushes, our subscribers, and those of you watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and behind the scenes here on TikTok. Thank you, TikTok, for over 16,000 likes and the gifts. We appreciate you guys as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. I will see you all in the next one, whatever the next one may be. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a great night. Bye, y'all. Oh, wait. Don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live tour is coming to a city near you. Washington, D.C., you're up next. Go get your tickets today. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.